Void, 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 void.
Here we are on the void.
Void, void.
I just want to start
What's
by
up?
thanking you for one, being here, but two, putting up with all of my nonsense as I'm trying to figure it all
Me?
out.
Thanking me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, you're in a safari, and I just
Yeah,
want
I'm just
to be with you.
receding
over here.
into the plants.
I love it. I kind of love it. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Yeah, I mean, I knew from the get-go when I started doing the podcast that I wanted to have you on, because obviously pandemic, it's harder to hang out, but this is a way of
Yes.
doing it.
Yes, and I've been dying to hang out with you. So
Dude,
this is everything that I've been waiting for and more.
For those of you who don't know, Skyler is a streamer, an actor, and a TikTok legend. If you follow him
What?
on Instagram too, photos for days. Like, he knows his angles, let me just tell you. But also one of the kindest, sweetest humans I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. Oh my God, I love the worm vibes.
That's me. That's me. I'm your friendly neighborhood worm.
If you wanted to introduce yourself and kind of share a little bit about yourself and your stream, just so anyone who doesn't already know you can get to know you.
Totally. What's up, you guys? My name's SkylerSeymour. I'm an actor, streamer, TikTok legend. I know my angles. I'm in a safari with Aya right now, and I do a lot of different things. I've been acting for a while, and as far as streaming goes, which kind of takes up my life, which I love in every way, shape, and form. I play a lot of things like Overwatch, Magic the Gathering. I'm mainly just a chatting type of person. I talk about like I call myself a therapy streamer, but that's just because we're so real and honest with whatever feelings we're feeling or however we want to be. We're just kind of like that because that's life, and I would rather like live than not live. So that's a little bit about me. I'm obsessed with anime, cute things, and music. So that's kind of a good general idea of who I am. And I'm just like you guys. I can hold the moon in my hands. You know, like I'm just a regular human being that can hold
so
the moon
cool.
in his hands, and I relate to you because I know that you guys can too. So
Yeah, just, once a day, holding the moon in your hands.
it's kind of empowering.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, Aya.
Holding a giant
It's-
planet, but in your hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've got to let you know that today I learned a very fun fact. Did you know that you could fit every planet in our solar system in between us and the moon?
What?
Did you know this?
That can't be real.
I didn't know this either. I have no idea how these people figured this out, but there's 242,000 miles between us and the moon, and you can fit the planets in between us. Is that not nuts?
That's insane. I would have
Right?
never, because I feel like there's some really big planets that like would take up
Like-
the entire
like
space.
Pluto. Yeah. Like Pluto. Controversial topic number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about Pluto?
Me and Pluto vibe. We're really on the same wavelength. We just it was when I saw Pluto in like the original classic Mickey Mouse cartoon, I just thought, wow, now this is a planet. So that's it. Yeah, really big planets does not fit with like Pluto.
Yeah. Yeah. Pluto, the biggest planet.
Right? Exactly right. I am so happy to be here.
I
Do you
know. I'm so
understand
stoked
this?
to have you. Like, I don't think I've ever actually had a conversation with you before. Like, I've never actually
No.
interacted with you before, but it feels like I've known you forever, and I just
Thank
appreciate
you.
that a lot.
Oh
You're
my
just a
God,
really
this
nice
feels
person
like
too, so you make it immediately comfortable.
Be still, my beating heart. I am just very, very happy that we finally get to talk.
I
So
know.
is this one of these things that I get to like ask you any questions, or is this like off, like I can't ask a single question?
I mean,
is this
you
one
can
of those?
do like I have general questions to ask, but the whole idea is
Okay.
just for discussion to happen. So whatever you want to do, like I'm cool with it as well.
I was telling my chat earlier, I was like, here's the thing. If Aya asks a question and we end up at not that question by the end of that question, just be prepared to know that, you know, that's very normal and natural because
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
part of the equation.
I was gonna say I talked to last week. I had a musician, Calvin Thomas Music, on, and we had a whole conversation
Awesome.
about tangents and how that's just kind of like we naturally will go off on tangents, but it's kind of one of the best things to me though, because like you'll start somewhere and
Yes.
you'll end off like it'll make it. That's what makes I feel like every different podcast so unique, is that every person is gonna have a different like path that they go down, like of the mental thought process. So I think
Right,
that's part
right.
of what makes it so much fun.
Oh my
But
god.
I'm here
well,
for
I
I'm here
am
for any
here.
tangent you want to go on. Like
I am so tangent oriented. You have no idea. This guy's an
oftentimes,
unstoppable
I can't
force.
trace it back to the original thought. Like I'll end up on something and I'll be
Me
like, how,
too.
what were we talking about to get here? Like we'll end up on like Shrek, and the original conversation was something about
Yes.
like
Our
inequality.
favorite number.
You know, like
Oh.
we could literally go. It's just like, I mean, listen, Shrek, that was his land, and you know,
Yeah, totally.
Farquaad was trying to, you know, take his land.
It's a nice boulder. I get it. I
I
get
wouldn't
it.
let someone
I
take
understand.
my swamp. Like,
I wouldn't
If,
either.
like,
and
you're used to being alone, and all of a sudden people and talking
Yes.
animals are like, hey, this is mine
Yes.
now. I'd be like, okay, hold on.
yes. And everybody keeps talking about anger issues this, anger issues that, but like, you know, some anger is healthy, you know? You get angry whenever things are unfair, you know? Unfair. And you know, if that involves all of these mythical creatures coming into your swamp and taking over your swamp, that's what that includes. It's
Yeah, I feel like that's a
unfair.
part of,
Find
like-
your own swamp.
Like, if I was dealing with that and I talked to my therapist about it, they'd definitely be like, no, I think you're right to be angry. So
Yes.
I feel like he was
get it.
justified in his anger.
Yes, I believe so too, and that's what we worked out in therapy today. Just
Yeah.
30 minutes before this
Yeah,
stream.
just Shrek in his swamp, you know?
Yeah, we talked about Shrek. It was a weird segue. I don't know how we ended up there, but we did.
Yeah, it happens.
I love it. Let me turn off my AC. Okay, perfect. I'm back.
I'm removing my
That was
label.
Chair Sama.
I'm removing the label from this water.
Oh my god, so nobody talks about the acidity levels of
Yeah.
your water? 6.5? When do people learn that? Is it one of those
like
things where like
when did
movie theaters-
anybody like some waters are more like acidic than
Yes.
others?
When did that start to matter to you? Was
Yeah.
it like at the age of 6? Or was it like, oh, I'm educated in my water and I want pH 9.2
Yeah. or, like,
now, and like what?
yeah. Did you take a class in college that was like water acidity? You know, like I
Yes.
never like I know about like acidity generally, but I never learned about
Yeah.
specific water brands.
I think that a lot of people just figure, you know how like you'd play with chalk as a kid. You'd draw like chalk on the sidewalk, and then you'd have to like wash it off. Did they see that the higher pH levels of water clean the chalk off faster, and then they were like, oh my god, I need to drink pH 9.5 water.
I need a specific, exactly 9.5, not a point higher or lower. You know, like very
They're
specific.
very
pH.
specific.
Yeah.
This all revolves around chalk.
I think
you
I
guys.
actually
Chalk's
did
own-
a science project because we had like a science fair, and it was
Yeah.
I tested the acidity of. I would get cups of ice from different fast food places, and I tested the acidity for my like science fair project. I don't know. I got like a kit off somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 3rd grade, I think. It was kind of weird.
Oh my
but
god.
cool. I think it was mostly normal, but
So you had a science fair.
kind of. It was like for like third grade or whatever. Like within our grade, we would do like we all
Like
had
the
different
volcano?
projects. Yeah.
Did you see that in real life? Did you
I don't
actually
think
see
anyone
that?
did a volcano. I've never seen it happen. Oh my god. So the first time that we hang out, we're gonna make a science fair
Really?
volcano. Please.
Really?
Yeah, I think that needs to happen.
Yes. Thank you.
'Cause
Yes.
I need to live
100%.
that experience at least once.
Yes. Okay. I'm down with that. I've always seen it in every movie and never done it.
I don't think I've ever seen one actually in practice. So, and I just feel like it'd be really
Have
satisfying
that?
to watch it like go. You know, we could spend time crafting a paper mache volcano, and then do it.
Painting
you know?
it.
Yeah, I
and
feel
then
like that'd
do
be
it.
such a good.
Oh my god, we have our first hangout planned. I love
yeah.
it. This is incredible. So yeah, Chalk Zone is a great anime. And what's your next question?
I actually haven't watched. When I was younger, I watched Sailor Moon, but besides that, I don't think I've actually watched any anime. So, what would be your top recommendation? Gets up and walks away. I think I have that exact same chair.
Ow! What do you do in moments like this? What do you do? What do you do? I need you to watch an anime about volleyball. That's it. That's all I need you to watch. I just need you to watch an anime about volleyball. That's all I need from you.
Is that like
I know it doesn't
a topic?
it doesn't sound
or like
yes.
the name of it?
It's okay, so the name of it is called Haikyuu. And it is just everything
how do you
and
spell
more.
that?
HAIKYUU.
Okay.
And it is just it's everything to It's everything. It's an incredible anime that has all the things that you could possibly want. And it's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's
Okay.
great. And also I didn't like volleyball at all before I watched it. I wasn't even interested. I had this kick where I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch all the sports anime out there. So I decided to sit down and drown myself in, God, there's a lot of bad sports anime. But I drown myself in it because, you know, like, what else are you supposed to do all day in your cocoon after school? I have my laptop on my chest and, like, no lights are on and I'm just watching anime on end, like, hours on end. Like, I don't even know why I didn't have glasses before I was 20, because I watched in the dark so long.
Oh
but
my gosh.
But this anime is really, really good. It's pretty good. It's pretty great. I like it a lot. But to give you a specific anime, what do you like? What do you watch, Aya?
I mean,
what's your
I haven't really watched. Well, as far as anime, I have
not
no
anime,
idea. But like
not anime.
regularly, like right now, I'm watching
Yes.
WandaVision, Bob's
Okay.
Burgers. As far as like animated
Okay.
shows go, I've
Okay.
been recently watching the like Marvel shows, but I'm trying to think what else I've watched.
What genre do you like? Like, what's your go-to genre? Like, oh my god, a fantasy film comes out, and you're like, I've got to see it. Or, oh
Ooh.
my god, a thriller comes out. I don't know, romantic
I stay away
comedy.
From horror typically. I like comedy
too.
and I like adventure.
Okay.
Drama is hard because I take everything so personally. So like when characters die, it's like I'm experiencing like a personal close death because I get so attached to characters.
Yes.
So like I'm here for a drama, but like I need it to have some sort of, you know, like I need some upbeat to counteract the heartbreak.
Okay. So, because I have people in my life that like to drown themselves in the sorrow. They're like, if it's not sad, my heart isn't crushed by the end of this, I don't like it. So it's nice to know like where you stand on this. So we've got to find a nice middle ground for you. Let's see. So comedy and adventure. That's your go-to.
Yeah,
Comedy, adventure.
I'd say probably more so those. Like I'm a big fan of fantasy.
Okay.
But like I'm open
like
to
that.
anything. I just typically steer away from like horror because life is scary enough.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
I'd say it's like with music, I'm open to anything except for country.
I'm not from Texas. I don't like country either.
Yeah, I grew up because both my parents weren't really into it. Because my mom grew up in Hawaii, my dad grew up in Wisconsin, and like neither of them are really into it either. So I just kind of grew up without it. But yeah,
That's
it's like
fair.
music-wise, I'm pretty much open to anything. Hambino, I'm sorry. Hambino's a big country music person. I'm so to clarify.
Oh, no.
You know, I like that one that's like, "Take Me Home, Country Roads, West Virginia, Mountain Mama." Take me home.
Okay, all right, awesome, I got it.
So
So,
I know
you're like
some,
Lil
like-
Nas X country. I
Yeah,
understand. Okay. I get it. Listen, I only listen to like Japanese music and like rap. That's all I listen to.
I feel like that's an
I listen
interesting mixture.
It's really, really fun. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm super sad boy, so I listen to a lot of just sad boy music. That's just what my
It's
brand
honestly-
is.
it's
It's
an
like
energy,
cutesy,
though.
sad boy, Japanese for a little spice, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Little s-
My mom was
That's me.
make fun of my music because it jumps around from almost everything. Because it'll go from like some like intense rap music to like some like alternative airy kind of song
Yes.
to like Moana. Like it just kind of like
Yes.
you'll find pretty, like I said, everything except for country music pretty much.
That's incredible. I listen to all musics as well. I don't listen to country as much, but since that's all I grew up on and my family listened to, it's kind of burned into my soul. So I have them to thank for that. This is not a personal choice. And I'm the same way. I listen to everything. It's kind of scary. We'll go from like, dependent, like, Avenged Sevenfold to like Patsu Lo-Fi to like Japanese intros and outros to then like Kyle and just rap. It's great. Anything that gets me to dance. That's really what I'm about. Because
Honestly,
like
yeah.
I love moving and dancing, and I'm just like, that's just who I am. I just like I like doing that. I like moving, and I can't dance to save my life, but I definitely have a fun time while I'm doing it.
I mean, that's,
and that's
all that
what
matters. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I flail around like whenever I would like. I was never a big like clubbing person,
Oh.
but like whenever I'd go out in any kind of shape or form, I'd have to watch out because
Yeah.
I flail my arms, and I have a long wingspan, being a relatively long human. And I'd have to be careful or I'd like hit people accidentally because I'm just like vibing and I'm like, yeah, and like my arms
Yeah.
like flail a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I just have to be extra careful.
This is
That's why
incredible
now
news.
I go to the Ralph's near me and they play really good music
Yeah.
all the time. So I just dance
And you
through
do
Ralph's.
this.
Yeah. And like
Right.
the aisles are wide enough to accommodate my wingspan. It's perfect. Like I don't need a club, I just need Ralph's.
Oh my god, this is incredible stuff. I was also not a club going person. I'm like introverted extrovert. And but I definitely dance a lot in my house. I mean, the safety of your
yeah.
house.
And there's nothing better than like when you're in
yeah.
your house by yourself and you turn on good music and you're just vibing and like dancing, like just doing dishes or just doing.
Listen to
like,
me.
Ugh.
I have to talk to you about this. Okay. So there was this episode of The Fairly Odd Parents where they're putting Cosmo in this in this court setting, and they're replaying all the good and bad moments that Cosmo has done in his life. I don't know if you watched The Fairly Odd Parents. Do
I
you?
did,
Do I need
I
to
did,
give you
yeah.
more context? Okay, great. And so when they did that, they do a lot of this memory is bad, and it shows him all the times that he was bad with his magic, but then Wanda's continue to play it, and then it turns out good, right? And
Yeah.
the same thing happens back and forth. That, Aya, is the reason for how I live, because I think that if when I pass, I can't wait to go on trial with my life and think of all the moments where I was like, I did this thing in the kitchen and I did that thing in the dining room, and nobody was watching, but it's gonna come back up, and I'm gonna have to relive that experience, whether I have to live that alone or with someone. It's gonna come up. So I always keep that in mind. Maybe that's a little bit paranoia. But it's good. It's good for the soul.
It's good to, I don't know, I feel like it also keeps you present too in like what you're doing in the moment, because you're thinking about it, you know, like it's more, there's more thought that goes into every moment than just like letting each moment kind of pass. So
right. I like that.
Yeah.
I breathe in my life into every moment that I am here. I don't know if that's just through a lot of like all the experiences in my life, like growing up, or experiences with others. I just I felt like there has always been like a lack of presence in a lot of people, at least in my growing up and my experiences personally, that I've seen a lot of people like not be as present as they, could be in these moments. And maybe to the extreme now that I try to be incredibly present in all of those moments, because then I'm like, oh, I am living in this moment and I want to do this because, this is life. And I want to take this moment to do this thing that will make me happy, that I can laugh at. And that's why I laugh at myself a lot too, because if you aren't going to laugh at yourself, then who is,
Yeah. I feel like it makes it, I don't know, like just to take life a little bit less seriously in that regard, because I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in all of the little things, especially, knowing that you're also an actor. Like, I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in, because it's mostly rejection acting, which is super fun. But like, not getting caught up in like, this didn't work or this didn't work, but also being like, all right, well, I got to work on the scene today and I got to really feel and I got to really experience the art of it, and finding the like little victories in it and enjoying the process instead of like rushing to the end result.
I'm glad that you brought this up, because very recently, I had a really good moment to think of all of that in a good headspace, because I think that when you have been acting and you do auditions and you have a lot of rejection, and you're processing through these things, and you're also trying to grow while you're processing, and then you're also trying to expand while you're growing and processing, and then you're also trying to in those moments where you're trying to reconcile yourself and kind of get to a better place with yourself emotionally, due to those traumas, those traumatic experiences that you've had or whatever, you're also processing and going through all of these different steps all at the same time. And eventually you can get to a place where you forget the simplest things, the simplest little tiny things. And it's crazy, because I had one of those moments a week ago or a week and a half ago or something like that, where I just really needed some inspiration to move through this project with ease. And the inspiration that was given to me was, you get to live this character right now, and you get to really like, you get to really play with a character that you have and only you have, because there's no one else that's going to do the same exact thing that you're going to do, unless you're trying to listen to exactly what you're supposed to do. You're breathing life into this character, and for me, I needed a second to step back from all of the thoughts and all of the experiences that I've had, and then give myself the chance to really play and have fun with this character, and just be the only one out there that's performing this character. I thought that it was very inspiring to think about it that way. Like, I am the only person that gets to perform this character right now. Whether that's whenever you're doing an audition, a self-tape, a Zoom call, you know, whatever you need to do, whenever you need to do it, you're the only person that gets to do that right now. And I take it a step further because, like, you're going to add yourself to it. You're going to add your own experiences in your own life, and own vibe to this character that you want it to be, and you're the only one that gets to play that character right now. So the fact is that you get to go into this character and be like, I get to this is so cool, because there's no one telling you no yet. And that's something that I really desperately like wanted to hear from someone. Because it comes across differently whenever you're in like a class, because you're practicing and everybody's practicing, and this is like a safe place. But when you're performing and you know that there are things that can happen because of your performance, or things that can, and those aren't necessarily good or bad things, right? They are they are things that you're thinking about. So you're kind of making your brain think about two things while you're performing. One, the performance, and two, what you're going to do when the performance doesn't go right. I am totally talking about how I process these things and how I go through these things, obviously. Yeah. But this is just big news to me, because you work through a lot of these problems. Everybody has different problems. Everybody has different solutions for those problems. But knowing how to work through your own problems is just an incredible force to be reckoned with. And that's why I think, you know, therapy is great and has been. But also, like, thinking about it like, okay, if I want to just absorb this character and I want to be this character and I can't wait to, something is stopping me. What is that thing stopping me? And you can point out to like your past experiences. You can point out to your memorization. You don't have your memorization on point, or 3, you've memorized it into the ground, so it's like flat, or 4, you have, there's like, where's the line? Where do I walk? What do I do? And then you get like so flabbergasted that you're like spiraling down. At least this is how it is for someone who's experienced rejection and experienced success, and then the middle ground of not having the success really as much as the rejection. But that's our lives, you know? Yeah. And it's I think that it's like cool to think about that, or come to the realization that my brain is doing 2 things when I need it to only do one. And because anybody that has experienced failure knows that that's a possibility, you will inevitably think and prepare, either subconsciously or consciously, for that to happen again. Yeah. Because it's scary, and it's nerve-wracking, and it's hard, and it broke you then, and it can break you now, because who says it can't? So then when I'm like talking to my therapist about this, and I'm like, I don't understand why I can't just focus on the character. And then I take a step back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking and preparing myself for what could possibly happen while I'm performing this thing. Then I think, well, I'm doing that. I'm the one stopping myself from fully giving, you know, how they say to just, you know, really dive into your character, let go, right? Let go. People love saying let go. And then I think like, well, really what happens in this moment is that like, I'm the only one that gets to perform this character the way that I want, and nobody's going to do it exactly the way that I want except for me. And if I can think of it that way, I can go out there with a resolve that won't inhibit me as much as I have already inhibited myself in previous auditions. in previous situations, and it can change in that moment. It has the opportunity to change, and really, we're creatures of inspiration, and that can go either way. You can be inspired to be depressed. You can be inspired to be incredibly enthusiastic and incredibly like excited, and any which way about it. But kind of stopping yourself from doing two things when you only need to do one takes time, because you have your own experience with that trauma, or that what you might label it as like a failure or a mistake or something like extreme like that, but it just kind of like gives you, it's kind of like when you realize, like, you trip and you fall and you scrape yourself and you're like, oh, I realize that I'm not immortal right now.
Yeah.
I think of that mainly because, like, my dad, he was the type of mind, like, I'm unstoppable. And going deeper into that, whenever, you realize that you're not unstoppable and you add that humanity to yourself, like, that can add so much fear and anxiety and blah, blah, blah into it. But nothing had, in that moment, nothing had changed from previous to before, or previous to afterwards, other than you realizing that something can happen. And that's why, I'm a big therapy advocate. That's why I like talking about feelings. That's why I like talking about my thoughts. That's why I like talking through things. One, because then it's not only here, and you're not just only talking to yourself and beating yourself up, because, we're our worst critic. But also, you're able to, create a map for the way that you process the things that you're going through.
Yeah.
And then once you have that map, then you can talk about something that you experienced, like, or you can talk about something that came up a year ago, and you can be like, oh, I can talk about this now. Like, for an example, for me, I actually, should I go? We go deep talk. Is that okay? Is that allowed here? Is
yeah, whatever
Chat?
you are willing to, whatever you're comfortable with, I am more than open to.
I'm a very comfortable human being about emotions. I love it. I love it so much.
That.
I think it's
I
just.
was gonna say, I appreciate it, because and it's not everybody's responsibility to, like, be real on Twitch, I guess, but, like, I appreciate it when I find people who do, because I feel like that's, I don't know, it takes streamers down from these, like, mythical, like, otherworldly creatures to being like, hey, we're people. We feel things, we go through things, and, like, it's just, like, allowing people to know that they're not alone, especially in a pandemic where I feel like everybody's going through it. So I appreciate that.
Exactly. I totally agree. Before I discuss a little bit further, I just want to talk about the start of, streaming for me, as I do it still now to this day, and being an actor beforehand. I thought to myself, I said, okay, on stream, do I want to use the talents that I have as an actor to put on a performance while I stream, or do I want to just let the emotions fly how they fly? And this was years back, but I chose, to be more open about my emotions and be me all the time, whether that was me being angry or sad or listening to music and playing video games, not talking and not putting a webcam up, or just being joyful and jumping up and down and throwing water balloons in my house and doing, like, all of these, like, random things that I just wanted to do. I chose to be more open Because for me, I think of acting and I think of this that's everything. That's my profession. That's where I want to like live and breathe and be. And I also know that a lot of people like lose themselves in that. I also know that a lot of people like have ups and downs or whatever, and that happens with anything that you're trying to pursue that you haven't succeeded at yet, right? Succeeding being like you do that every day all the time, and that's your forever. So when I got into streaming, I figured I'd rather, there are all these magazines, right? This is a little secret of mine, but there are all these magazines that like to cover all these actors' lives. And there are all these posts that people like to or outlets that people go to find out things about like actors and their lives or what's happening and this and that. And I just really wanted to have my life kind of on streaming be me and real, so you guys could always see like who I was no matter what people were talking about,
Yeah.
That kind of was my like goal with all of this, because I know where we're headed. When we are inspired and we know what we should do, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be ups and downs. That doesn't mean that there's going to be like no time to take a second to walk away. People take breaks from Twitch all the time. People take breaks from acting all the time. People take breaks from work all the time. And it's good to take a step back, see the full picture, give yourself room to breathe, and then come back in it. Because it brings fresh air. It brings a change in you, and it gives you an opportunity to assess your situation in a way that you don't normally have on a day-to-day basis. So going back to what I was saying about like on stream and how I don't know, I want to keep it real, and I'll do any like whatever. I go up and I jump around and I'm like acting like a train conductor, and then I do like a kickflip on this board that has no wheels, and I just do like all of this random stuff, and I'll just act sometimes if I want to, whatever. All of this, what I'm trying to get to is that all of this has like, there's a rhyme to this reason, and we ourselves sometimes stop our rhyme from reasoning, if you will. We're our worst critics. We need time to process. We have habits, and we have traumas and experiences. And because all of those things are real and bring life to our lives, there are going to be times where you need to, give back time to yourself to work through the things that you haven't had time to step back from. For me, I was going to talk about how earlier today even, I was talking about how my anxiety, I am someone that spirals, whether that's depression or anxiety, whatever that case it may be, I spiral. And one thing came up today in therapy that I didn't ever think about, because when you think about that, you think about all the things that are happening because of that and this and that. But I then realized today, when I made a little progress with my therapist, that I was like, okay, during this process, after seeing you for a year and a half, talking about this all the time, every day, every week, that now this isn't like a spiral, because I see that there's a process to it, and you're helping me get through this process, and we're finally getting to like the same thing that I've experienced and thought about over and over that I didn't really grasp before. Like I grasped earlier, I grasped, wow, I can't speak. Speech impediments. I grasped this thought that they have been telling me for a year today. And that's what made me think like, oh my God, in an hour session, it was really like 40 minutes from the start of the conversation to the end of the conversation, got really anxious and really not anxious. And that made me realize that this spiral that I've always been putting myself in, and it's never ending. I never realized that, you know, you don't know the length and the width of that spiral. You don't know how far down it goes. You don't know when you touched it or if you're out. You don't know these things, right? But then I kind of turned it on its head, and it's not lateral. I started thinking about it, and it's like you can come to a complete stop. Like your anxiety in this way. If you have really bad anxiety and some, you know, and that is just hitting you and it's destroying you or whatever, I'm eventually going to get hungry. I'm eventually going to get tired. And during those moments, whether and it doesn't matter, I've been the one to stay awake for 5 days straight because of it. I've been the one to not stop thinking about it from sleeping to waking up. I get that. But also you know, you have these things that happen that eventually will change and allow you to step out of that or get out of that. Whether that's just, and for me, I am but a simple boy, and for me, you know, once I get hungry and after I've eaten, then I've got like it's nap time and I need to go to sleep, and whether I'm sad or anxious, I'll go to sleep, right? And in that moment, it has like taken a second and taken a step back and kind of completed its cycle for right now. It doesn't matter. I know that it's coming and I know that it will come, but so does everything, you know, happiness, sadness. Like that's why, you know, life is life. Life is ever flowing. It's like a roller coaster. You've heard it 1,000 times, but it completes itself. Like, I'm sorry to the flat earthers out there. I'm so sorry. But like you can fly around the world and get back to where you started. You can walk around the world, get back to where you started. Like you can, it's this round shape we can finally get to. So I started thinking about that and changing my mind from this spiral that's kind of like, you know, a tornado spiral all the way down, to kind of flipping it on its side and rolling it. And in that way, it made it a little bit smaller. It made it a little bit more understanding of like, I made a little bit of more understanding of that concept. And there are different problems for different people, definitely. So this might not, you know, help you or whoever is listening, but it helped me because I was able to grasp something, that word again, that evil word, and get an idea in my head that I had never had before, but talked about a million times.
Yeah.
And then I can think about it even further because I like to talk in metaphors and I like to think in metaphors and everything. So, you know, that being like a rolling thing, it can come to a stop. You know, we're going to there's going to be a wall, or we press the brakes, or we, you know, it gets to where it was going, and it will stop. And so in moments like that, that's what I try to think about. In moments where my anxiety is just absolutely at the top of its height, I have to practice thinking about that concept, that it's not an infinite void left and right and up and down, but more of like, it's a circular shape that I can think of. This is how I have to think to get it through my brain for me to process. And it'll eventually come back around to where I'll be at the starting point I was before this happened. And whether that, you know, that's because I have a new job, or I ate something different, or I talked to a new person, or I, listened to a song that I really liked or something like that. Like, I'll get there. And it's nice to be able to think about that. And the hardest part about that is that I took a year about talking about that. Like, I took a whole year speaking of that same exact idea with the same exact words, with the same exact concept. And it took a whole year for it to click to me that what those words meant to me in my brain. So it's just giving yourself the time to figure it out. And then whenever you figure something out, man, that's incredible. Isn't that why we get a thrill from like video games and stuff like that? Like, let's talk about Dark Souls or something like that. You die and die and die and die and die, and then you finally beat the boss and you're like, I did it. I did something incredible. I am Dark Souls 3. Like, like this is incredible, but you've experienced it a million times and you knew what to do in all of those situations.
It's like you keep going crazy because you're like, I know, I just gotta do this, and if I just do this, I can get it. And you're like, I promise I can get it. And then when you finally do, it's so much more satisfying. Or like, it's that moment when everything clicks, and like, not only does like theoretically how it's supposed to happen, but in that moment it all comes together and you can actually do it. Like that. Yeah. It's the best feeling in the whole world.
It's so good. Yes. And it's incredible because video games do that. And so thinking of that in that way, like, okay, well, in any way that you want to think about it, you can think of like therapy as a game for yourself.
Yeah.
A Rubik's Cube for your own brain. Like, figure, like go through and listen, I can't figure out a Rubik's Cube. My little brother, he can do a million of them blindfolded. I don't understand it. There's colors on a cube. How can you do it blindfolded? So it's just like everybody's different and everybody has a different way of processing or whatever. But like, it's just like, it's so nice to, realize and get through things that you've worked so hard on or given time towards. That's why, I mean, like, we're streaming and we want to be successful streamers. We're acting and we want to be successful actors. Like, we play video games. We want to be professional gamers. Let's go. PogChamp, but it's just like, that's what makes like living so fun too, is that you can figure it out. And it seems absolutely impossible a lot of the time until it doesn't. And I absolutely hate that that's true. I absolutely dislike that is the factual way of things, but it is. And you don't dislike it when you experience that in any form that you do, whether that's like me in therapy or you playing Dark Souls and beating a boss, or you like going through this audition process and you booking the job, or all the different, there's so many different ways to think about it, and it's just great. I talked for so long.
Oh my gosh, no, I love it. Like I mean, I'm a fellow spiraler, so just like the perspective I think was really helpful. I let me tell you, the pandemic has been the absolute worst for people who spiral, because you're by yourself all the time. You have no additional stimuli to get you out of your head. You have no one else necessarily with you to run things through, like,
I agree. Yes.
I feel like it's been one of the most challenging things. Like, I went through a period of time where I didn't even talk to my therapist, and then there was a moment for me, and I hate getting help. I'm super stubborn that way. But there was a moment that I was like, I need this. Like, I'm gonna go crazy if I don't, because I need to talk to anyone. Like, there was a period of time in the pandemic, it would basically be, I'd stream, but besides that, it was me alone in my house with my cat. And like, I already had conversations with my cat, but like, it got bad. Like, I'd be sitting there watching Tiger King and being like, no, Carol Baskin did it. And my cat would look at me blankly, like, what are you talking about? And like, it'd be me doing that and playing Animal Crossing and sitting with my cat and mentally spiraling. So just like that, the way that you worded it was, I think I think it's so important, because while not everything works for everyone, hearing additional perspectives can be what leads you to that final answer that works for you. And like, I think that's also one of the reasons why I appreciate having so many diverse points of view on the podcast, because again, you never know what's going to work for you, but you have to hear a bunch of different perspectives until you find what works, you know? So I think that it was really, really helpful. And then beyond that, just your candor. I appreciate you for being so open and honest about like yourself and your journey, because at the very least, you know, I can at least say for me, it's reassuring to know that like I'm not the only one going through this, the only one who has been hitting a wall at certain issues, and I'm like, I know that this is an issue and I should be able to get through it, but like to know that I'm not the only one who's still working through things, you know, and sometimes it's going to take a year or more to get to the end point, but it just makes it so much better when you finally get there. So
yes,
I have so much appreciation for, you know, just everything you said and like your perspective on things. It reminds me of, partially when you were talking about like acting and stuff, it reminds me of like, you know, in that finding the joy and finding the, you know, getting to be that character. One of my directors for a play I did in college, her favorite example of like how you should treat an audition is there was a kid who came out of an audition, you know, and was like, oh, like that was fun, mom, basically thinking that that was the acting, like that was the job. And like if you look at like an audition as a job, one, it takes the stress off because you're like, I'm doing, you know, what I love, but two, it's like it's an opportunity to do what you love in front of other people and like to perform. And and it's just one of those that reminds me constantly to you know, find yourself. And like the other thing it reminded me of is I have a really cheesy picture from like childhood where I like was on the website Picnic and I over edited it and put words on it, and it's one of those like, why be like be yourself, everyone else is taken, which is so true. Like your version of the character is the only one that exists because you're the only person from your filter who is going to look at that character that way, or who is going to have certain reactions to what the character's going through, you know? And I just think it's so refreshing to hear another person say that, and like to hear your perspective on not only, you know, life, but you know, acting, which, you know, I can relate in that regard. And I feel like I haven't had a conversation about it in so long, just because I used to take classes. I was in college and then I left college and I don't talk to anyone ever. So it's so good to hear also another person who understands it and is going through it.
Totally.
And I also had
I'm here.
That if you ever wanted to, because I mean, we live in the era of content creation and whatnot. If you ever wanted to, like, we could find someone who's proficient in the film stuff and we could write and film a scene. Because, like, we got to create our own stuff just to get stuff up there. So if you ever want to do that, that could be really fun. We could come up with some sort of...
slapping,
you know,
me in the face. Oh my God. That sounds incredible.
But I
that would
figured
be
that could
awesome.
be a good way, because, you know, I've been working on doing some, like, writing some monologues to film just to have stuff, but also I prefer, like, getting to act with another person because I love having something to go off of. I feel like that's the genuine human experience. But so I thought about that. If you want to do that, that could be something fun to do, and a way to keep
fun.
acting and getting content out there. So yeah,
I love that. No, that's a great thought, and I'm totally down. I thrive on passion. That's just like my. That's what fuels me. It's incredible, and when like things like the inspiration that I needed to hear to get myself through the audition that I was talking about. And get myself to stop like thinking about other things. It was really simple. It was a really simple answer, and I get inspired so easily. And the fact that this pandemic has you know, kind of kept us separated for the right reasons. I'm kind of grasping at like any kind of like inspiration that I can kind of get my hands on, and just letting that just fuel the entirety of me, right? So like hearing that I get to be a character. One, I'm horrible at writing, so please, God, someone help me. but I say words good, right? And I just like think that it would be incredible to be any character, really, especially during this age, because it's like I don't know. I guess so. Personally, I think it's really cool to be friends with actors because it's like all the creatures, me in my language, all the creatures that they create and perform are all my friends too. And you know, like depending on the script, obviously, like wow, you don't want to be friends with some of them, but just the fact that they can create excuse me, they can create other friends for you to be friends with, is an incredible thing. I think it's incredible, and I think that way because that's how it helps me to absolutely give my all into all of my characters. It sounds a little cuckoo, but that's okay. I'm a little crazy, but I think
like
that
all actors are a little crazy.
we have to be. We have to be. It just has to make sense to us because we have to perform it, you know? And so, like, I think that that would be really cool. I would love to just be any kind of character and just hit me up, yo.
Yeah.
Hit me up. I'm there. I have always really not been someone to make a lot of content creation as I like kind of have gone through acting the way that I have, mainly because I just totally wanted to give my all on all of these projects, and when I went into an audition, I you know, that's who I'm there for and to impress because I have got to do this thing that's going to be everything and blah blah blah, and I needed to take a few pieces of that off of me. I needed to take a step back and kind of like just fuel myself with joy rather than success. And content creation is that, fueling yourself with joy for what you're doing. And so I think that that's a rad idea. I think that that's awesome. And
Yeah.
I can't believe you asked me.
Oh my god,
gosh.
absolutely. Yeah, I know. I was just, you were sitting there talking about like
Me?
the process and your passion, and I was like, other actor friend. I forget what it's like to have friends sometimes. You know, the whole introverted extrovert thing.
too.
Like
Oh my
I'm
God,
so
it's
bad
been
at like
horrible.
making friends. And then, you know, pandemic happened, and I'm like, I don't see people ever now. So yeah.
I am one thing to know about me is that I am absolutely a horrible responder, but I am a good friend. I am a great friend, and I will do everything that I can for my friends. That's just like the type of person that I strive to be all the time. Yeah, you too. And I just I don't know. This pandemic at first it was horrible because I at first thought it was, you know, the lack of seeing everyone that was absolutely killing me, and I realized that that was true, but there was another reason too, is that, you know, my friends give me like life and inspiration, and they you know, live life with me, so I like want to give them things to be, you know, excited about life with. That's why we go to like places to eat. That's why we go to like events. That's why we go to concerts with our friends, and fish are friends, not food. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like these are it's just like you want to be I just, this pandemic has been so hard, but at the same time, like I've been able to reach out to people that I initially either hadn't had the time to step out of my own self to reach out to. Like, I've even connected so much more with my family because of the pandemic, and that is a good thing because you know, being an actor and being out here for however many years and doing that, there's a toll for like everything or whatever. And thankfully I have a family that's like loving and kind and understands, and that is also to my acknowledgement of me, helping them understand and talking with them and communicating and stuff like that. But I've gotten to be able to get closer to like all of my, at least internet friends for right now, like you, and like there's Katie and Erica and Trey and Chelsea and all these people that are just like really, really cool, and I've gotten to be close with because of I guess the lack of outdoors, the lack of the outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't even know. The lack of life. And it's, I don't know. I just try to look at things when I can. I try to look at the opportunity there. And I wanted the opportunity, I was hoping that the opportunity would be, connecting and becoming closer with friends and stuff like that. And so I've been able to reach out to more people. I've been able to keep my sanity indoors and realizing what I need to get through that. And God, therapy is so great. But I also have I have incredible people around me that talk to me, that keep me, in their thoughts and prayers, and that's what matters. I have May here. I have my best friends around me, Tyler, and I work with some of my best friends, and I have best friends online, and I have a family and stuff like that. So I'm, everybody's different, as I said, with everything. But these are the things that are keeping me together, and I'm just very thankful that we can connect and we can actually talk for once. And I get to be on your podcast, which is super freaking rad. I love that you started this, and I'm following up incredible bangers. We got the Katie Benz on here. I mean, like, wow. You just, Calvin, and I'm just, oh my God, thank you so much for having me too.
Yeah, you were absolutely one of the first choices in my mind when I was thinking through, and I was like creating it because I was super stoked. I'd wanted to for a bit, and I was worried that no one would want to do it. Predominantly, That was my biggest worry. I'm fairly irrelevant as streamers go, so I was trying to like reach out and be like,
no,
hi, please.
What? Stop. This is the entire chat telling you to stop. Quit. What are you talking about? Oh my God, you're so relevant to me. Continue.
But yeah, I mean, I absolutely I'd wanted to do it for a while. So then when I first started kind of like feeling out like who would be interested, and I think you came by one of my streams, and I was like, so do you maybe want to do it? And you said that you'd be down. I was so stoked, because you were, again, one of the sweetest, most personable people that I have met. And like, I remember the first time I ever, like, I'd heard of you was through SideQuest, and so I went and watched through some of the old, like, SideQuest videos to get a vibe for, like, what SideQuest was, and I saw you, and I was like, who is this person? He's, like, a literal ray of sunshine, and so, like...
You're incredible.
I knew from that moment, I was like, I need to meet him, because he's amazing, for one, and then, like, I, stopped by your streams and stuff, and you just became even more amazing. Like, it just solidified what I already knew,
Thank you.
So then the opportunity to get to actually talk to you, I was, like, all here for. And it's been nothing short of amazing so far, so...
You're incredible. You're incredible. Thank you so much. You, like, that makes me so happy to hear. I can't even believe it. We're our own worst critics for sure, because like I'm just literally like blown away that I get to be like, that you say such kind things about me too. It means the world to me, and that's just, I mean, I am definitely a soft boy, but I all of this, it's we all work hard at what we want to do, and being how we are, and being like me, and keeping that above ground and not locked in, and trying to be like this sunshine boy that I am. I want that. And when you want something, you try as hard as you can to do it. And it fills me with joy and happiness and excitement that I get to honestly and earnestly be me and be weird and be crazy and talk about feelings and jump around like I'm silly and you know, sometimes just accidentally like feign and just like, you know, just it makes me so happy that I get to do all of these different things, and that people like that. And I think that just brings me more inspiration and hope, because if someone like me can be like how I am, and we're all like this, then that just solidifies the fact that everybody should be who they are, unapologetically.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just think that I think that living is really cool, and that's why I laugh at myself all the time, because I'm like, okay, this is great, and I got to say this. Like most of my jokes are jokes. I want to say them because I think it's outrageous that somebody says them, and I might as well be the person to be outrageous and say them. You know, like I might as well be that type of person to go out there and say these outrageous things. And yes, then I get to at night I'm in my bed and I'm going to sleep, and I get to put a little smile on my face because I'm like, you're so silly.
Just that moment where you think back on the day and you're like,
I said that. That was so stupid. Like that's how it is. That's just how I am. I think it's great, and I'm so happy that I get to be here. One, I'm just very thankful that I get to talk to you. What's your favorite number?
Buddy the Elf, no, his is color, right? That just made me think of Elf.
Yeah.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? It's color, right? Okay. I was like, for a second, yes. I was like, has it been numbered this whole time? My favorite number is 18. Yes. I don't know why. I like even numbers. I don't know. There's something like to know that
even,
like I can
about
cut it
even
in half
numbers.
And, like, yeah, it's just like I like asymmetry when it's like when it's aesthetic, right? But I love just like it's like this weird thing that I used to do when I was younger. I'd eat Cheerios.
Split it down the middle and fold it.
I would just I'd eat Cheerios in multiples of 2. I don't know. I just eat dry Cheerios in multiples of 2.
Really?
I have no idea why. But like
honey oat or original?
Original. I mean, I'd eat honey oat. I feel like you have to eat with milk because
I gotta go.
Like, if you eat honey oat without milk, then your fingers get all sticky from the honey oat. But if you eat it with milk, like fine. I'm all for it. I was a weird person in high school, and as like snack, I would bring I'd bring a box of bran flakes because I like raisin bran, but I don't like raisins, so I just get a box of bran flakes.
Oh my god!
And
oh my god!
I was like a grandma eating bran flakes for snack.
That's incredible.
But you know.
Oh my god!
What's your favorite number?
Oh my god! Don't ask me that. I really don't have a favorite number. 3.
Any reason?
It became a part of my stream, which was crazy. But before that, the number 3 was just something that I said all the time. And this is something that not anybody knows, nor should anybody know really. But when I was a kid, I would answer a lot of things with 3. A lot of things. Just like I would always say 3. It was just like anything that I could say. What's your favorite color? 3, and then I giggle to myself. I've always been like this chaotic mess of a human. It's thank you. And it's just that's just it. But then 3. What? May
3.
Listen.
The newest conspiracy theory.
Yes, and my chat absolutely eviscerated my love for the number 3. So I've got to find a new favorite number, but for all intents and purposes, 3 for right now. Do you see all these people in chat? Do you see these people?
Oh my god.
Do you see these mad people? You hated it till right now. Yes, I still hate it. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. But I had to answer the question, okay?
You had to come up with something.
I had to come up with something. How tall are you?
Me? I did
Yes. No, the plant.
The other,
I like
yeah.
the plant in the
How tall are
background.
you? Oh, it's
Hello?
it's 7'5". I'm
7'5"?
reporting here.
Is that width or
reporting
length?
here from the plant.
Oh my god. I love it. I love it.
The last time I was measured, they told me it was 5'9.25".
And they gave you a quarter, right?
They gave me they were like 5'9.25". Here
and
you
here's
go.
a quarter?
Yeah.
Or you just always say it?
Yeah, it's just a part of it now.
I get it.
How tall
I've done
are
that
you?
too. Yeah. Okay.
You seem tall.
I'm 6 foot.
You have tall energy. You have tall energy.
I have tall me?
Yeah.
I have
don't know,
tall energy?
You have tall energy. Yeah, I don't know what that means exactly, but oh my god, May 5'10", tall girl squad. So when we can hang out, it'll be fantastic.
I love it. I really do. That's crazy. That blows my mind. Thank you. Thank you so much. I like to wear really baggy sweaters and shirts because I think that they're really cute. You know, I really like how like the very end of your like middle finger is showing from the sweaters.
Yeah, I like just being able to like hide in them. I mean, Southern California
and then
is
like
not a
you make
great
them
place
round
for
and you like touch
sweaters,
them, but you're. Wait, what'd you say?
I said Southern California is not the best place for sweaters most of the time.
Yeah,
but
I realize that.
unfortunately, it's kind of one of the saddest things because I don't like really cold weather, but I like cold weather clothes.
Me too. Me too. Oh my god, that's all I obsess over. I want a long sleeve shirt with pants, sweats specifically.
Oh yeah.
And a crew neck sweater, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. Is it time? Is it time? The best time to wear a striped sweater. It's all the time. One with a collar, turtleneck. That's going.
Oh, SpongeBob is some pretty peak television.
I agree. How's that water?
I feel pretty hydrated.
Did you taste the acidity?
I didn't, you know? Maybe it's because I'm used to acidity. I spend too much time on Twitter and I'm desensitized to it.
Do we believe her, chat?
Is it just acting? I acted like I didn't taste the acidity?
Is it just acting?
We'll never know.
Is it just acting? It is. Oh my god. I can't believe I get to talk to you. What the heck is happening? Is life is good.
Is this life? Is this real life?
Yes.
The one thing that I do feel is that I have to go to the bathroom. So what I'm gonna do is, if you have to run to the restroom real quick as well, I'll pop the promo screen back up so we can run to the restroom, take a bathroom break, and be right back.
That sounds great.
All right.
Let's do it.
Where's my mouse? There we go. I'm on like a really like haphazard setup, so I'm trying to figure out where everything is.
Fine. You're doing great. You're doing great. No stress whatsoever.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and switch us over. So we'll be right back. Okay. See you in a minute, friends.
Okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
What's up?
We have returned.
We've done it again for the third time today.
This time I have juice. It's passion orange
Oh my
guava,
God.
so it's like pretty good juice.
Ooh, passion orange. Did you know that orange has an acidic flavor
my
less than the
God.
Dasani water that you...
I can't escape it. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's funny. Oh gosh, that's great. Oh my God, Bae, thank you. Oh, this is great.
The
So,
question I do have for you though. This one.
Yes, give me some questions.
I have like a list of like stream specific ones, but the one that I really want to ask you more than anything right now is less stream specific. If you could pick any role ever, acting wise, if you could pick anything in the whole world, dream role, what would it be?
I definitely want to be a psychotic billionaire. So imagine like Bruce Wayne, but there's no Batman. And he actually turns out to be the villain, but in a hot way. So I'd say the closest thing that I can get to that would probably be Moriarty from Sherlock. That's the type of character
Oh my God, I
that I
love
would
that
love.
character.
Yes, that is my dream character.
Sociopath type characters are so fascinating.
Oh, so good.
They're so
It's
fascinating.
everything.
Well, there's so much
It's
to play
everything
with
I want.
there, and I feel like
Yes!
Moriarty is such an excellent example. My go-to example of a character like that is Villanelle from Killing Eve. Probably one of my favorite series. So it's Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer. So good. Another BBC show. So there we go. It's BBC. BBC as in the British Broadcasting Channel, since I didn't know that when I first joined, and people made a BBC joke, and I thought they meant the British Broadcasting Channel, and they meant something else that was inappropriate. They asked me, they're like, do you like BBC? And so I was like, the British Broadcasting Channel? Yeah, I love their shows. And I had no idea that it meant anything else.
I'm pretty sure I said the same thing. I'm pretty sure.
I was a total grandma about terms and what everything was.
Oh, stop. You're wonderful. That's incredible. I did the same thing. There's so many times that stream where they just ask. Oh my God. Sometimes I think that they just like have this mystery hat that has just gone around the world, that has like tons and tons of questions, and they just pull one out of this hat and then just ship it to another person. Like a random address, and they just they're like, go to this channel and ask this question. And then I'm like, I don't know what this means. What do you mean? I have to stop what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't want to answer this without knowing the
Do I need to like
context.
Urban Dictionary what this is?
Yes. Which dictionary do you want me to use?
Yeah. Where will I find the actual answer?
Are you laughing because I said dictionary? Like, it's just like, you don't know. So that's, Moriarty. I love that. And then, that's just my dream. I just want to play a psychotic, incredibly, like, smart and handsome character. That's what I want. I want to be the villain that everybody loves, that everybody is obsessed with until they realize that they shouldn't be obsessed with me. It's like, that's the dream.
Oh yeah, I absolutely feel that. I was gonna say that's similar lines of thought, because whenever Moriarty, I think, is one of the best examples of that, and I think a really good female example of that is, you know, the character I mentioned from Killing Eve. And so like, there's so much, and especially when you see a good example of it, there's so much expression and range there that like the reactions are so unsettling sometimes in the best way possible, that like as an actor you can appreciate like, oh, that was good, like that was a good choice, you know. And oh, I'd love to see it. All right, so the scene that we'll find out a way to do 2 sociopath characters. There's actually a scene of that in
I have a great idea.
Oh, do tell.
Okay, we're sitting down, cafe, both have a coffee in front of us. They're in like little cute white mugs. and we've poisoned both of them, and the trick is to just try and make the other one drink the coffee. But we obviously will never force anything because this is a mind game, a mind battle rather than a
Interesting.
actual battle. But nobody knows that the coffee's like poison in any way at all.
We're just like drinkers. We're just back and forth the whole time. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. But anyways. Wait, Aya as Sherlock, please? That's
oh my
a TikTok
god.
trend.
One
What?
forgets and drinks are... It's like it reminds me of like the Hitman trend on TikTok where it's like Gen Z as a hitman, or it's like me as a hitman, and the person like puts like
I know
a
what you're
capsule
talking
in a
about,
cup,
yeah.
and they stir it with their finger and then put their finger in their mouth.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay,
Oh my
I
God.
understand now.
But I feel like there would be a lot of possibilities. What I gotta do is either learn how to write or find someone who can, because writing for me is like, you know, like I can do it, but like I feel like there's definitely people who can do it better. So
Okay,
we'll see.
so here I feel like I am someone who like can make it spicier, but I can't write it. You know, I feel like I know what they need, but I can't give the basics.
Okay, so
And that's the type of writer that I am.
I can do a draft. I'll do a rough draft, and then we'll just bounce it
my
back
God.
and forth a million times until
This is
it
incredible.
reaches the proper spice levels.
That sounds so spicy. Aya, that sounds so good. Thank you.
I feel like it's a
please, let's
good
do
good
this.
team effort.
I'm down. I'm there. Who would be your Sherlock though? Who would you want to be playing opposite? I gotta know.
Oh yeah, if you could be the villain and you could cast any protagonist.
The cat from the cat meme playing the piano. Final answer.
Honestly, I think a worthy adversary.
Right? Like imagine what those paws could do not on a piano.
Oh yeah,
And in a crime scene.
just like
What? What?
you know. Oh yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
These paws are perfect. That's what they say all the time.
Oh yeah.
No, but if I had, gosh, I have to actually think about that. Who would, what? Who? I don't.
Or even if
I
you
have
had a
no-
dream actor to work with.
But that doesn't fit the bill. But I mean, like, okay.
I feel like it might be easier to think generally if there was someone you want to work with versus someone for that specific role.
Golly, I'm gonna have to come back to this one. Give me time to think on this. I like my acting answers to be on point. On point.
Let me see if I have any other questions in the meantime that I'm particularly
Yes.
excited to ask.
Perlock and Moriarty.
Oh, I'm here for that rendition. I'd watch a cat
I'm
version.
there. I'm there.
I'd watch two cats pretend to be Sherlock and Moriarty 100%.
Oh my God, yes. Can we make it happen? Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what would you say are the most important parts of your identity? Like if you had to pick a couple of like terms or, labels, so to speak, to define yourself, what would you say are the most important parts of your identity?
The most important parts. Are you talking about characteristics, or what do you like in like what make up who I am? Like what I do? Like an action or a
Any kind of way that, like, if you were to describe yourself to someone, what would be the most important pieces of information to get across? Whether that be a characteristic, like whether that be like, like being empathetic, or being an actor, like a label of something that you do, like the way that you would define yourself to someone, the key terms you would use.
Okay. Yeah, highly empathetic. Passionate. Patient. Stubborn. Um, wild, random, maybe random instead of wild, random. Um, supportive. There you go. Oh, yeah. Coffee enthusiast.
I am absolutely
Overwatch
here for that.
entrepreneur. Um, um, magic mentor. Uh, acting athlete. um, uh, let's see. What else? What else? What else? Half angel, half demon. That's all I've got to say. That's the end.
Pretty solid answers.
Right?
I like it.
I thought
Good
so.
variety too.
Right? Something that you can really like pick through.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of good, a good balance there.
I like, everybody keeps telling me I need more balance in my life, and that's all I've been doing is balancing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
I have a
That's all.
giant scale in my room that I just every day.
I love that. I love that a lot.
I have
So,
a
yeah,
follow-up question that kind of goes with this.
Okay.
What do you want to be remembered for?
What do I want to be remembered for?
Like when people look back on your time here, what do you want to be remembered for?
Aya is asking the tough questions, but I do love this question.
Also, if there's any questions that you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer all of the questions as well.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure you
will
know
let
that you have the option.
Yes. Thank you.
May I have a variety of questions that I'm pulling from, so they might be the same, they might be different. I will say I've asked, these are some of my favorites just because I like the ones that are the most, I don't know, like one of the best ways to get to know the person. So some of these ones definitely will be repeated, but sorry,
I'm
go
studying
ahead.
these questions right now. You're fine. Persevered through all obstacles. Something like that. Most perseverant. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. That's I just I think that would be great. Because I thought about like hardworking and empathetic and like anything from talented and intelligent or creative, but I think that like my perseverance is everything to me.
Yeah, just never giving up kind of thing.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of things that I have given up, and I have had those experiences, which only further makes me want to be remembered for that, because though those things have, there have been moments where there have been times where you have given up. It's okay to take a step back and walk away for a second to come back.
Absolutely. I think one of the big misunderstandings about the idea of giving up and everything, like sometimes some things need to come to an end. Like there are some fights that don't need to be continued to be fought, you know? Like, it's like
Right.
it's like in recognizing toxic relationships in your life, like some things you have to let go of in life, and that doesn't mean that you are a quitter by any means, but some things in life you have to, or you have to walk away for a period of time to come back with a refreshed point of view. And so I think that it's so important to know that just because you gave up or stopped one thing or took a break from one thing doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to persevere. It's just about, you know, you have to pick your battles and where your energy goes. But yeah, no, I think that I feel like that's a really important thing to be remembered for, because especially in acting, it's so easy to get down on yourself for not being at this point, or comparing is my biggest thing that I am so bad about, where I'm like, look at this person, look at this child actor who is making,
Envious.
you know, the lead in this movie, and then I'm over here like a potato, you know, like it's so easy to get down on yourself. But I think focusing on the positives and what you can do is such a good way to, I guess, get out of your head about it. And I think that perseverance, not only in acting, but just in life, I think is such an important skill. It's like, you know, we get knocked down, but you get back up again and you keep going. You know, you take a moment, you recognize the disappointment and the pain. You don't shove it somewhere, but you recognize it and you move forward. And I feel like that's a really important thing. And I see that. I feel like I see that a lot in you, especially with how honest you are with, you know, what you're going through and what you're feeling. And the fact that you're still like a radiant light of, you know, sunshine to everyone. It just shows that you experience life the way that everybody else does, and you go through it like everybody else does, but you don't allow that to dampen your sunshine, you know? Like,
Exactly.
Sometimes there are clouds and it maybe blocks the full effect of your sunshine, but you know that they'll pass, and you know that the sun's still there. It didn't go anywhere. And I just feel like it's such a perfect, I don't know, such a perfect metaphor for who you are as a person, and what I know of you from what I've seen.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. It's all about knowing and wanting to persevere through it, you know? There have been a ton of traumatic experiences and ton of things that just haven't gone right. And that's kind of like why I like the word perseverance so much, is just like, you know, nobody knows how heavy those experiences are to you. Nobody will know. You can do your best to explain, and you can give a metaphor like it feels like a giant Mack truck, or like, you know, 15 cities, or maybe the planet Pluto. But only you know how much that weighs, and that's why I think that allows perseverance to really like thrive, because everybody's weight is, you know, everybody's traumas and experiences are different, and those are what make you who you are. And if you can get through those, then I think that's a pretty incredible power.
Absolutely. That actually kind of relates to another one of the questions that I have here. And it's kind of like a big question, so if you don't want to answer, or if you can't think of exactly what you want to say, or need to take time to think about it, that's all right.
All right.
What is a difficult life situation that you went through that you feel fundamentally shaped you? Like, was one of the biggest parts in shaping who you are today, and how did that shape who you are today?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Yes. What is a difficult life situation that you went through that you feel shaped who you are today, and how do you feel that it shaped who you are today?
I had to, not had to, but I made the decision to chase something that I had no experience in. In fact, I had more negative experiences than I did positive, like by an incredible amount. When I stopped playing tennis, and I decided not to go to college on a scholarship for tennis, and decided to come out here to act. I had to make that decision. I had to make that decision actually very, very fast. I remember it being a month and a half out from when I was supposed to leave to go to college and to, you know, get all of the paperwork done, all of the tests and all of these things done. And instead I decided to go out and try my hand at acting. And during that trip, while I was trying my hand at acting to decide if that's what I wanted to do instead, I came home after, or I was thinking that entire time of what consequences that might lead to. And I was of the mind to really like absorb and handle the things that could happen immediately. I was someone who was like, oh, this could be a problem, so let me think about it as if it is a problem right now and get myself through that, so that when it comes up and it is a problem, that I will be able to handle this problem because I've already experienced it. That being said, I'm more specifically talking about, you know, being away from my family, leaving and knowing that I have to put something that I feel excited and passionate about that can make that helps make the life that I want a reality, at the cost of time with my family. And I was 18 and trying to realize all of this, and trying to process through all of this. And since I've been with my family for the last 18 years straight, and that's all that I've had ever, that I was excited about it. And it's cool to have an opportunity that you didn't think you could ever have, ever in your life. Haven't even thought of it, right? So when I started thinking about that and realizing that this is what I want to do, and that I'm willing to go through the consequences of my actions, I had a hard time. I had an incredible hard time. It was the hardest and most life-threatening decision I had ever made, because I had to do a lot of things. I had to confront, which confrontation is not a good thing to me. I have had so many bad experiences with confrontation, mind you, but I had to confront, I had to educate myself, I had to really give every single bit of me into this decision, and not take it back. And I decided to make that decision at 18, not knowing really like a lot in general, not really knowing a lot about me, or not really knowing a lot about my family, or not really knowing a lot about like my future, not really knowing a lot about a lot of things. And I just I remember sitting in a hotel in New York because I went to a convention to do this thing to see if I had any potential. And I remember sitting in my hotel, and one thing saved me from this entire fiasco that I was going through. I thought to myself, I kind of went a little extreme, I think, but I mean, that's what you do in extreme situations. You think extremely, but you know, I was like, will my family love me for this decision? And that kind of opened up my mind to a lot of questions that I have never asked or thought of. And that opened up a lot of thoughts that I've never had. And I finally got to this answer of, you know, my family, I'm very thankful. My mom is incredible. My stepdad is incredible. My family, my brothers, my sisters, my dad, my stepmom, they all believe in the abilities that I have. And so I thought about it more, and I thought, well, my mom cries when I get hurt. My mom laughs when I tell a joke. My mom is someone that lifts me up whenever I can't reach a high enough place, and has done that all her life. So me making a decision for something that I want, well, I know that she's gonna love it because I made a decision. I know that she's gonna love it because I, you know, really want something and I think that I can do it. She wants to see any thought of mine that's good, that has a potential for good in my life to be a success. And that goes for my whole family. My entire family thinks the same thing. I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. I didn't have a really great relationship with a lot of my family, in different ways, whether that was just experiences, whether that was just like time with them or time talking. I didn't really have a voice. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't really know a lot of things about me. So how could I have those conversations with them? And I know that there are a lot of other, you know, families that have their own problems, and I know that I was very blessed with the family that I have. And so I figured, well, if I have that blessing, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have any blessing in this experience at all, then that's my one and only blessing, and that's okay. And this will all be okay. And we're going to go out there and I'm going to do this, and this is going to be fucking awesome. And I'm ready to give my whole heart for this. And because I have literally all that I've known for my entire life, 18 years of that, I have that behind me and supporting me. And I'm going to go try something new, and I'm going to give it my all. And that's all my family wanted, was for me to give my all for what I was doing. They didn't want me to spread myself too thin. And they knew it takes a lot of effort to make things happen. They're very hardworking people. My mom had to, you know, had so many jobs, and was trying to go to school and have a relationship and, you know, have a family and eat all at the same time. And it's just like, wow, I can barely figure out what I'm gonna eat tonight. And same with my stepdad and my brother and my father and my stepmom and my sisters and my whole family, you know, everybody, including all the people here, like everybody has something that, you know, you work really hard towards. You know, you have your life and you have your experiences, and you're the only one that knows how much those weigh, and you're the only one that knows what passions you're passionate about and how far you'll go for them. And I thought that that was really cool, that they would go so far for all of these things, stretch themselves so thin for all of these things. So why can't I just go out there and do something that I have no experience in, and learn and give my all to this one thing instead of all of the things that they're, doing and making happen too. There's ups and downs and everything. There's, life is just like that. That's what living is, And so it's just really cool. I thought that that was just really cool that I was having that thought at 18 in a hotel, not sure about anything. And coming to that realization and really just grabbing on and not letting go. I'm stubborn. I'm a Taurus, and thank God that's a bull, because I just hold on and I don't let go, and that's all I'm about. And if that's all I've got is a personality and stubbornness, then let's do this. Let's just keep going and pushing and trying and learning and have our ups and downs the way that we want to have our ups and downs, or where we want to have our ups and downs, So yeah.
I mean, that's super cool, and I feel like it's such a big thing to grasp with at that point in your life too, like being, just like, this is gonna sound super dramatic way of wording it, but on the cusp of adulthood, like trying to figure out in that moment, like, all right, so what are we doing? I feel like I had the benefit of, I didn't really have that crisis until end of college, because basically for me it was like, okay, so I do this school for this school, and I do this school for this school, and then I do this school for college. And when I hit the end of college at the end of 2020, it was pandemic, I graduated during the pandemic. Oh my
God, I can't even imagine.
I was like, like, I have no idea what I'm doing, like, just like internal screaming is because I had no idea what, like, where do you go? Like, what do you do now? Like, it's like the end of Finding Nemo when all the fish are in the bag in the ocean, like they have escaped from the tank, but they're like, so now what? Like, I've escaped from the tank, but I'm still in a bag and I have no idea what to do next. So I feel like, I mean, it would be a lot to grasp and grapple with those questions so early, but on the flip side, I feel like it's a good way to set you up for further down in life where you're like dealing with these kind of questions where you're like, okay, like you've set a pretty solid foundation, I feel like. And that's not to say you never, question or deal with those questions, later, but you have some, I don't know, some foundation already on which to reflect on them with. And yeah, I feel like that's both challenging, but ultimately beneficial, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you also, gotta know that you don't know what the future holds. So in that moment, that's all you've got.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that you know for a fact is exactly where you are. Not where you're gonna be, not what's going to happen, anything like that. And with the experiences, which are actually very minimal experiences, in my life about like, personal experiences of like thought and trying to figure out my voice and how I feel about things, and having very little experience figuring all of that out, and being in a place that's kind of like open to any of that, which I don't think, Northern Texas was not the place that really was great.
What area of Northern Texas? Like, you don't have to get too specific, but I grew up in Texas. No. I'm from
Amarillo, Texas.
Okay, I grew up in Dallas.
Yes, Dallas. so like 5-6 hours north of Dallas.
I love that you could drive all day and still be in Texas.
Yes. What
Super
is that?
Fun
Why?
things,
Why did they create that?
Who allowed that?
I need North and South Texas now. Anyways, but it's just, it's all about the It's just all about the environment and the climate as to which in which you're like making these thoughts happen too. I think, because somebody can live such an incredibly privileged life and have like billions and billions of dollars growing up, and they can turn 18 and not have any idea what a knot is and how to do it on their shoe.
Yeah.
They like, and then like I think Schitt's Creek is a great show. You've watched it, I would assume.
I love that show so much.
Thank you. Yes, 5th season here. I'm a 5th seasoner. So I'm getting there.
When I say I cried, ooh, that's an understatement. There were tears galore.
Yes. Oh my God, it's such a good show. Oh my God, man, I've been watching that all the time. But like that, like, and then all of your money disappears, and you don't know how to tie your shoe.
Yeah, like
and you also don't know what a compass is. Like, you've never heard of a compass. And you're like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, I don't know how to make money. I don't know how to tie a shoe. I don't know which direction I'm in, but everything has been given to me, and I am so privileged, and I'm 18. What do I do? I'm a broke trailer house home family. Okay, this is not me. But like, I think it just depends on like your experiences and what you had along the way too. I spent a lot of my time thinking and dreaming about things that I had no concept over or any idea about. And like, there are a lot of, there's just so many questions, and you never know what's going to happen. So in those moments, that initially led to my foundation to come out here and grasp that. The things that happened out here and my experiences have been so traumatic, and I would not label them as incredible, but they're mine. They're my experiences, and if I have this life that's mine, and these are my experiences, then my God, I love them. I think they are everything, and they will lead me to victory, and I just can't stop, and I'm going to persevere through all of them. And that's it. And then in situations where like you are setting up your foundation much, much later, and you have this experience, I think it's like I know how to build a fire, but I don't have sticks or stone or anything to use to make a fire. Okay, I know how to build a house, but I have no tools and there's nothing around. Also, I'm in a desert. I know, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know how to filter water, but there's none in sight. I have no idea what to do. It's like it's so difficult in that situation where you have this knowledge and you feel like you should be able to use it, and you have the capabilities. This is just me thinking out loud. Like, I would just assume, so please, like, this is just a thought. But like, in those situations, like, I think that's where you said that I would assume that you're self-critical, like I am. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Okay. So, in that, right? You're thinking, if you're self-critical and you're in a desert with no water, knowing and you know how to build a house and you know how to filter water and live, but you're in a desert, you're blaming yourself because you should have been either well prepared or not be here for some reason that's your own choice, like, that you could have made happen. But you're in a desert. And nothing will allow you in this desert to tell you otherwise, that it's not your fault, because it's a desert and no one's around. And then you go around and you start like figuring out and digging in the desert, and you find a rock or two, and then you keep walking and you're like, oh my God, am I seeing things? Am I hallucinating? No, that's actually a pond. And oh my God, we're in Lion King. And oh my God, there's Timon and Pumbaa, and we can literally sing Hakuna Matata, and I can make a house for these people that are real because we're doing the live action Lion King. And now I'm on set. You know, like, fuck. It's just like everybody has their struggles and battles, and like there are things that like are beneficial and not beneficial to each and every one of us. And I think that we can find a togetherness between our experiences just by communicating them, and just by like sharing these experiences, and being empathetic in these moments too, because that's all we wished for. That's all we wished for, I think, since the beginning of time. Like, oh, I scraped my knee, I need a Band-Aid, I have a boo-boo. And then some people didn't have parents that were like, oh, here's a bandage. Some people were like, throw some dirt on it and eat this slime that I made for you that's burnt on the bottom of this fryer. It's just, I just like, and then it's, gosh.
I feel like the desert metaphor is also so perfect for just like the pandemic situation, because like I was just sitting there, you're explaining it, and it's like, and you're blaming yourself for being in this desert and not being better prepared, and I'm like, the amount of times that I sat here during the pandemic like, well, if I would have done this, then I wouldn't be in this situation. We're in a pandemic. I had no idea in early February that we were about to shut down for over a year. Like I had, you know, we had no clue that it was, for the most part, we had no clue that it like was this intense and was gonna happen. And here I am kicking myself for not, doing this or that, or like, oh, well, if I would have done this, then I would have an agent by now. Like, it's one of those that it's like, we could spend the entire year in quarantine kicking ourselves over not doing this, or somehow,
and we will too.
And that's the thing,
and we will too.
It's so hard to stop yourself from thinking that, unless you have people you're talking to who can be like, hey, it's not your fault in any way, like, we're in a pandemic, this is an unforeseen circumstance that none of us expected to be in, in the beginning, or still, especially when it first started, it was like 2 weeks and then it'll be done. And it's been a year now. So I think it's so important. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just, to talk about as far as friends go and stuff like that, like, you have nobody, if you only have yourself or whatever, we are hypercritical, we are self-conscious of ourselves, and we're just kicking ourselves while we're down a lot. But that's also, like, as you were saying, like, those friends that are around us, they help. I think that's why I try to give and show everything that I am too, because I need you to know that I am crazy, and I might get frustrated, and I am super, super stubborn, and I am passionate about things, and I have this and that, and this is how I am. But if you know me, and you know who I am, you know that I am compassionate, you know that I am empathetic, and you know that I am here to listen and give real ass advice that matters to you exclusively, specifically, because that's what we want. That's what we want. And like, being real with someone in your friendships is of the utmost importance. Being able, and I've gone through so many problems with this personally, for me, as me being the problem, i.e. me, problem, where like I am, what was I saying? Where I am like, wanting to be there for my friends, and also not putting myself below them while I'm being there with them. I have a very, very, very big problem that I have been working on every day. And thankfully, luckily, I have people around me that give me good experiences with this, but I have trouble putting myself on the same level as people. I think a lot of people try to put themselves above people. And in my experience, that has pushed me so far down to where I feel uncomfortable putting myself on the same level as people. But if you guys are on the same level, then it doesn't matter what you guys are saying. It doesn't, you know that this person is here for you, and this person, through all of their flaws and all of their problems, that doesn't matter, because they are honestly doing everything that they can as them to be there for you. And we have this lucky, beautiful, beautiful device called communication. Oh my God, have you heard of it? Oh my God, it should be an Apple product by now. But this communication that I've heard about on like Tech Radar and like, I don't know, People Magazine, it allows you to understand what's helpful whenever you're talking to someone, like what they need in those moments. And I feel like so many people stop there, and that's where they get with most of their relationships with their friends, is to stop explaining what they need. They don't explain what they need because they think that they are so far down the hole of self disgust. And I'm saying this is a personal thing, that they think that anything should work on them. And communication between two people that truly want to care for each other, you know, they can have that ability. You can have that ability where you're like, this doesn't work for me, and the only reason it doesn't work for me is because my brain doesn't work like that. My heart doesn't work like that. My soul doesn't work like that. Like, don't go that far, you know, it's like, but what it truly is to you, you know, is what doesn't work. And what I needed to realize as I was going through this, like my personal self going through this, is that I can say what helps me and what doesn't. And I feel like that's just, for a lot of people, almost a taboo.
Yeah. I think communication is one of those things that I feel like I'm simultaneously good at and very, very bad at. I on a base level of communication, I'm the kind of person that if I get very anxious, or, which is a lot, you know, anxious or
all the time,
or exactly. Yes. Like I cycle between
every day,
anxiety and depression just all the time. It's super fun. And then there's that one little patch of light where I'm like, I'm good. And then something like a minor inconvenience happens, and I'm
when
like,
you take a drink of coffee for the first time, and you start to hit in 30 minutes. Yeah,
but
that 5 second.
I retreat inward. So then when people message me, and it's one of those, I'm like, okay, I'll message them back when I like am doing well, and then I forget. And I just forget to respond to people all the time. And then it's like one of those that then I feel like shit for not responding. I'm like, do I respond now? But it's so late. And then I just spiral further with that.
Ryan, you're so mean.
It's so bad. Cause like I'll read it and I'm like, okay, I read it. I'll remember to respond. And I know that I'm not going to remember to respond. So, that's one of the really bad, but like generally with people, I've like learned to be pretty communicative about my emotions and things. But what I've learned is I am, but only to an extent. Like I could tell you some of my deepest life traumas that I like that I've gotten over by now. Like, you know, some of the stuff from high school that like I can talk about and without intense emotional attachment. But then there's still that extra level of like, this is stuff that I just can't talk about. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that until recently. But it all goes back to this phobia, which there's a fun, mortifying story that goes with it, but I realized about myself that I am terrified, like, that the more people get to know me, the less likely they are to like me. And that's what I've convinced myself of, whether I try to or not. Like, it's just, from my past experiences, the more people get to know about other aspects of who I am and all of that, like, the more likely they are to not want to be around. And I actually...
You know...
Sorry, go ahead.
Same. Big same. Huge, big same. My mom said to me one time, I love bringing her up. She said, people are rude. People will hate you for no reason. People will do it because it's something that they can do. And all people want to do is something. And so if that something is to just hate you, just know that that's just something that's the only thing that they can do. And people I've met tons of people, probably my entire, until I was 18, tons of people that did not like who I was because I was optimistic, or I was too energetic, or I was too loud. They hated me. Absolutely. And I took that inward and I said, wow, I am such a disgusting human being. Like, I am horrible. This is not good. Like, I am not good. And getting bullied and beaten up and then, you know, verbally abused and this and that. Like, you have all of these experiences that lead you to that, which is what you were saying. I mean, you were saying, you were like, I have this beautiful, horrible experience with this. And I can only imagine, because same, big same. And that is what initially led me to continuing to be me. And the only reason I got there, Aya, is because I'm stubborn and stupid. Because I didn't think, I just acted. It was like it was like a stupid hero. You've seen those, I'm sure you've seen something where, like, early Hercules or something, like, oh, I'm invincible, but he has no brain. And so he runs in and fights the Hydra or whatever and gets his butt kicked or whatever, you know? Like that's what it was. But I was like, oh, people are gonna hate me? Well, I guess anybody's gonna hate me. I might as well be who I am. If people are just going to hate me, at least I'd rather be who I am than not be who I am and they just hate who I'm not. Because then, like, what am I doing? And that was my entire life, from, like, probably my entire life until I was like 22, 23. Most of my life. And so it's just like streaming, which we do, has allowed me to make friends, make a community, as we call it. Just a bunch of people who just, I don't even know why they're here. No idea. That's probably one of them hating me right now. And I didn't mean to go into a rant or anything like that. I took away from your story at all. I'm so sorry.
No, I don't think about it
that way.
I
feel like I relate to that
you
so
add
much.
to it because it, like, and if anything, you validate it because you validate that it is a shared experience. So don't ever apologize. Are you kidding me? Never apologize. What I do need to take a moment to apologize for. It looks like I'm not wearing pants. I promise I'm wearing pants. You just can't see them. It's a big shirt. I just want to put that out there. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm sitting here without pants on. I just got really instantly self-conscious about it, and I needed to put it out there into the world. They're pants.
It's okay.
They're there, I promise. Okay, sorry.
They are. No, don't apologize. You're fine. Yeah, and I just really from the bottom of my heart just want to scream and shout that I just want you so badly to just always be you so badly. Just please, always. Everybody's going to hate. We're always going to have these people that are going to hate us for who we are. I'm going to be too loud. I'm going to be too much. I'm going to be too this. I'm going to be too little this. I don't have enough of that. I need a beard. Like, yo, my bad. And I just like think that you're awesome and you're incredible and you should know that. And Aya, you work every fucking day as hard as possible to live stream to everyone, to broadcast, to talk to people, to create a podcast, to label it, to create these images, to invite people, to reach out to people, to see all of these people, to make sure that there's always content as you're working hard to feed Maui and friends and loved ones, and
I can't
to
slide
keep
out of my chair. This chair
your
doesn't
roof
slide
above your head, and it's just like, yo.
I'm just gonna.
Yo.
I can't effectively hide because I can't slide out of this chair.
So, I just hope you know that all of the things that people hate are going to be there, even like no matter what, because people just don't. The truth of the matter is that people hate people that know themselves. People do, because usually, I wouldn't say all of them, but I'd say usually as an average is that people do not know themselves. And you know what? Sometimes that's not their fault. Sometimes it's just trauma after trauma, and then not having any money and living in this world that we live in the planet that's dying, that's crazy, and people aren't advocating for things, and people don't have basic human rights, and there's like so many things that can go wrong. But most of these people that hate, that are on here, that are going to find you, that watch TV, that watch Twitch, that see, and they're like, oh my god, you're a grill, they will hate because that's what they can do. That's just something that they can do. And I'd rather just spend all of this time already hating the person, like not liking the person that I am, and learning about me, and like being like, okay, how do I deal with this? And then like, oh, but I want to be like this and grow and do this and that and this, and then I don't deserve. Like, we already have so much self-loathing because we have our experiences and our own past and our own history that only we know how much that weighs.
The car is right outside, and I'm positive it can be heard.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Sorry, I'm like right next to the garage, and the little patio door is like a gated. It's like a door, but you could hear sound. If that makes sense.
Describe the door. Is it maple or oak?
There's two doors. There's one that's like
two doors.
One that's like twist. A gate kind of thing. That's not actually a
metal?
door. You can see through it. Yes, metal. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm doing charades. But yeah.
No,
and then,
I think I'm winning.
And then there's a plain white door that's just like, I don't even know if it's wood or cork or whatever. Probably some basic, wood, but it's painted white. But
Got it.
But yeah, basically. And I know this microphone picks up like every sound ever. So like.
Okay.
I tried to mute for a sec because my parents were like sneaking out into the patio. They're like, we're going to get food. And I was like, okay. Like trying to be really quiet, but they're like shutting the doors and just like, boom. Like,
yeah,
really
I do that. I think I do that too. Yeah, I'm someone that does that too. I'll just walk out the door, but I'm like, bye, and then drop my keys, and then I'm like, oh. And then I make a sound, and then I drop my wallet, and then I'm unlocking the door, and then I pull, but it's not unlocked, and it's just, oh god.
Oh yeah, it's like whenever you try to be really quiet, everything happens to be loud.
I just hate it. Why has that occurred? Who cursed me? Who? Rumpelstiltskin?
Yeah.
Are you here? Like, Oh my god, I was so afraid of Rumpelstiltskin when I was a kid. Oh my god.
I didn't even really know who Rumpelstiltskin was. Like I feel like I'd heard of the legend, but it wasn't until I used to watch Once Upon a Time, and I watched that a little bit, and that's the first time I became aware of the character.
Nice. I have not seen Once Upon a Time, but I have seen.
Good.
Wait, I've seen a few episodes.
Like I watched it for a while, and then I think I fell out of it. But like, there was one character, whoever they had playing Captain Hook. No, I remember his name, Colin O'Donoghue. I looked it up at the time, and I still remember it. But it was like Hook with guy liner, and leather pirate wear, and young me was all about that. I was like, yes, get you a guy who wears guy liner.
Please.
That was just I was absolutely obsessed in my youth, you know.
Yeah.
But that was when I thought that I wanted like bad boy vampire from Vampire Diaries. That's before I valued it.
Me too.
I always went, okay, I thought, you know, me being dumb and naive was like, I want a bad boy with a heart of gold. Thinking that was something attainable and wouldn't just continually wreck my heart.
Yeah.
I eventually had to learn, maybe not. maybe not.
Nice.
But you know, I got there eventually.
Yeah.
Just took some time.
I feel that. Wow. I feel so related too. Oh my god. So they made it out alive? I forgot what I was talking about.
Yes, they made it out. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just like the car started going and I was like,
you're fine. No, listen, I need to talk way less. I will go
absolutely
on and on.
not. No, talk more, please.
Hey, Aya, no, this is my podcast. I'm not talking as much.
I don't want to talk. We both just sit here
Yeah,
with our
and
arms
this is
crossed
why.
for 5 minutes. Yeah. I'm not going to talk, and here's my list of reasons why.
Exactly. Oh man, Swan, harsh. Don't tell him. Are you kidding me? Wow, that's rough. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say is you're awesome, and haters are a good thing because that means that people are their only thing that they can do is focus on you because that's all they have to do. That's it. That's all they can muster up. That's it.
I think that streaming actually taught me a bit about that, I think. Because, like, you have people throwing hate at you out of nowhere. You know, like the trolls that jump into chat just to try to make you upset?
Yes.
That taught me more how to deal with life than anything else, I think. Because I'm like, they're just a troll. They're just not behind a computer. So what if you hate me or you don't like who I am or you don't like this or that? Like, boo-hoo. Like, if I've learned to not care on stream, then I can learn to not care in real life. I think was one of the most important like streaming lessons that I've learned.
Yeah, but the anxiety of outdoors and seeing a person. Have you taken a step outdoors yet and seen another person that you don't know yet? And did you get this like mad anxiety of like, okay, I don't know how to talk to another human being anymore?
Oh, all the time. Absolutely. Every day, even before the pandemic.
Okay, yeah, because like I think I was talking like a lot to a lot of people all the time, constantly, like most of my life. And then I realized that when it stopped, I was anxious the entire time. And now when I see someone, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this anymore.
1 minute. My grandpa is in the,
No worries. Oh yeah. So it's my podcast now. Isn't Aya great? Hi Nina. Hi. Hey guys, Skydrate or Didrate, huh? I'm the person who hears the neighbors outside and will wait until they're gone before. Corey, aww. First move should be to ban Chris. Really? This is the takeover, guys. If I knew Chris personally and I knew that they didn't like the color cerulean, then I would ban them. Okay, hi Sky. Oh my god, it's so good to see you. Field man. Oh my god. What a beautiful day it is. It's good to see you. Who's my Overwatch main? I main Ana. That's my healer of choice. DPS is Torbjorn. In tank, I do Zarya or Winston. Pasture guy. Hi, Pasture guy. That just so happens to be my favorite color. Hi, Sky. Hi, Brittany. Hey, everybody. Isn't this great?
Hi, I'm so sorry.
I hope you guys are having a good time. Oh, you're fine. Hi, welcome back.
Okay, my grandpa was gonna go check the mail without his walker.
You're
he's not
fine.
supposed to walk without his walker. So I just had to
That's
make sure that he
not
wasn't doing. He's very stubborn. He's really precious, and I
Yeah.
love him. But
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for making sure that he is walking with his walker.
yeah,
I
my
mean
parents-
that honestly.
I was gonna say because my parents went to go grab food. So before they were watching. My camera's so fuzzy right now. I don't know what it. If I could just get really close.
You're just soft. You're just
I
soft.
just it's soft lighting.
Is it working yet? Because I don't see it yet.
I don't think so. I don't know. Camera. Hello.
Camera.
I had this.
I
issue
like it.
before.
I think.
There we
Listen,
go.
it's okay. You got this. Oh, did it get fixed?
Yeah, I think it's focused now. I usually have to hold up some sort of like glass or bottle in order to get it to focus.
Really?
Yeah. I learned that a while ago
Oh my God.
because like I couldn't get it to focus, so I'd hold up my water bottle and it would focus on it finally. So what I have to do is hold up a glass or a water bottle and it'll finally refocus. Streamer tips and tricks.
I just infinite knowledge coming out of.
I'm so
streaming.
old and wise, you know.
You are. Oh yes.
With all of my many.
Many years ago,
Oh my god.
I didn't have back pain.
That's me.
I love that so much.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
what?
I just really enjoed that voice.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't
Thank you.
expect
love
it, so it caught me off guard.
I'm.
That's pretty
That's
solid.
my favorite.
You're ready for some
Thank
voiceover
you.
work there.
Thank you so much. No, I'm not. Some words I can't say. You know how you
Some
guys are saying Mario? I can't say some words.
It's
There are
okay.
words.
It's okay. You can learn.
Okay, I'll try. Stop it, Corey. Okay, anyways. Oh, Klaus. Oh my god, dude, Klaus. Ugh. She doesn't want to meet Klaus.
Now I do. Now that I know that Klaus is a thing.
Whoa, oh, what?
What is Klaus?
Oh my god. Klaus is a very, very incredible human being. That's not really a human being. More of a bear
Okay.
wearing a toga.
Okay.
Imagine a bear wearing a red toga.
Red. I
With-
would have assumed just white toga, so I'm glad you mentioned red. Okay. Bear, red
Yes.
toga.
So, bear, red toga. In Animal Crossing, there's a character named Klaus that has a red toga and is a
Gotcha.
bear. Blue eyes, beautiful, can see through your soul. Oceanic. And
Okay.
I came up with a voice for all of these characters, and I don't know what, like, bearded me away into this character, but Klaus is just. Hello, everybody. My name is Klaus. It is what I do here. I see everything, and I don't really absorb it, but that is okay because I am Klaus, and that is it is fine because I have fun, and I am a bear, so I have fur. Is that what you call
For
it?
question mark?
Yeah, that's Klaus.
I love it. I feel like it takes like a really scary animal and makes it lovable and like kind of oafy, in like the best way possible.
Yes. That's oh my god, yes. And Klaus does love anime. So the reason that Klaus became such a huge part of our lives is because in Animal Crossing, it asks you, what do you like to watch? And it asked me, and one of the lines was anime, and I lost my mind, Aya. I foamed from the mouth, and I remember seeing a lot of red, and then I fainted, and I don't remember the rest. So.
Well, the rest is history.
Yes, it is. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I love it. Love it.
Thank you. What is your number one favorite hobby in the real world? Like, say the world was perfect, the Great Barrier Reef was healthy, you had infinite money, and you're like, I want to do something to relax after a long day, or maybe just a hobby that if it's a sport. I don't know.
Could traveling be a hobby? Because if I had infinite money, I would just go see the world, because I think that one of my favorite things...
But is that a hobby?
Is that a hobby? Sightseeing, I guess?
Okay, I
enjoying
do like that.
Culture? I don't know. I love getting to see different... I don't know, like, just how things can be so different in ways that you wouldn't expect. Because, like, people are people, right? At the end of the day, we're all people. But just, like, the norm in which you live in a different country, or the way that things work, they're always so different in the ways you wouldn't expect. And so I think that's one of my favorite things about traveling, is seeing what's the normal here. Like, what's normal here? Which, you know, normal... I quote Morticia where it's like, normal is an illusion. What's normal for the spider is a calamity for the fly.
Yes.
Like, you know, like, normal is not real. But relatively, you know, I like to know, like, and try, like, okay, so what is the, like, the food here? What are they known for? You know, and trying that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that gets me excited, just because there's so much of the world to see. And I don't know, like, I'm just not satisfied sitting just in the same spot. Like, I want to see everything, which is kind of hard to do and impossible right now because pandemic, but, like,
yeah,
I feel like there's so much to learn. I don't know, that's the one of the things that's
I
so
think that it's perfect.
It's
I
not
think
technically
that's
a
really
hobby,
cool.
but that's what
That
I
is
like to do.
that's cool. I think that that's really, really cool, because every time I've traveled or gone anywhere, had different food, there's something about it that makes you I don't know. It brings so much to your life, so much opportunity. I am someone who loves traveling to places, or even moving, because at those moments, that's where growth can happen for me. And so, like, traveling, golly, talk about the growth, talk about what you can do and what you can accomplish afterward, or, like, during on the trip, or, like, really
like
anything. Like,
also the variety and something different can be so inspiring, especially for people who are artists in some degree. Like, it's a way to refresh your mind from all of the sameness of what you're used to. And I feel like it's a good way to jumpstart your creativity, just to see something different, even if it's just as little as, like, getting outside your city and going to, like, the mountains or something, you know, like, just a change of scenery. I feel like can be so great for resetting, and just kind of, I feel like that's why the pandemic has been so hard on creatives, is like, we lack inspiration by being stuck in the same place or being stuck at home all the time. And so it was actually when I came out to take care of my grandpa that I came back with, like, I'm gonna do a podcast, like, I'm just gonna do it, what am I waiting for, kind of thing. And I feel like that's such a big part of the creative process, as well as, you know, mental health, being able to have external stimuli to distract yourself from your mind sometimes. And I feel like it's so important for so many different reasons, even on a basic mental health level.
Totally. I'm so excited to hear that from you too, because is this your how many trips back have you made?
This is my second. I probably won't be able to go out for a little bit after this, just because I signed up to do some online groundlings classes, because I wanted to take some improv classes.
Oh my god.
So I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm starting that in like the second week of March. So I mean, they're all online, but it's just a little hard to travel back and forth and do that as well. And the time difference makes it hard, because Hawaii is like 2 hours behind Pacific time. So
Right,
like if a class starts at 10, I have to be there, like I have to be up and ready by 8 kind of thing. So that makes it a little bit more
So
difficult.
you're in Hawaii?
Yes, my grandpa lives in Hawaii.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've never been to Hawaii.
It's
I see.
I always hesitate to say that because everybody's like, okay, so it's a vacation, but not really.
No.
Like we're not like whenever we come out here to visit, it's never like resorts or anything. It's we stay at my grandparents' house, which the one thing that makes it extra hard is there's no AC and it's particularly humid, and my grandpa gets really cold, so we have to keep most of the windows shut that allow the air to circulate.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's like you take a shower, you get out of the shower, and you're sweating again.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice, though. It's peaceful. Like, he lives on the windward side of the island, so it's just, like, the mountains. We're not, like, oceanside or anything. It's, you know, right up in the mountains. But
That's
they have a big bay window that faces the mountains, and it's probably one of my favorite views. My grandma, she passed away, like, 2 years ago, almost. But she, I think she fought for the big window that overlooked the mountain. It's kind of one of the
That's so
absolute
great.
best things.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's been nice. I think at the very least, having the ability to like walk outside and sit outside for just a little bit, because I'm, you know, being in LA, it's like crazy city all the time, and it's hot, and it's, you know, so getting to just kind of sit out there where it's calm, a little bit calm at least, and peaceful, I think has been helpful to kind of reset, and it's made me want to, like, when I get back, go on more hikes and stuff and try to have a little bit more nature and a little bit more a change of scenery in the way that it's still pandemic safe, you know?
Yes.
Because that's
totally.
the other part, trying to do things and go places, but still being aware of the situation and being safe about it.
Yeah, I agree. That's great. I look forward to that. I hope that, like, whenever you come back there, that, you know, that invigoration just leads you to some cool things. I think that's going to be cool for you.
What do you, I guess this is a question that kind of comes from that, but what do you do to help reset or refresh yourself? Like, if you feel like you're in kind of a funk or you need something to, I don't know, jumpstart your creative process or anything.
Okay, so I have a step-by-step ritual
Okay.
that I do. Okay, first and foremost, Indian food.
Ooh, what type of Indian food?
Okay, I mean, I eat butter chicken. It's just like normal. It's just like a sauce and chicken and rice, and then there's like garlic and onion naan, and
Yeah.
I just
Oh.
eat that. It's like normal. It's just delicious and incredible.
Mhm.
And that's my favorite meal in all of eternity. So I start with that, and then what I do is I evaporate everything from my day. Like nothing. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And if you're like me, saying you're gonna do nothing doesn't mean you're going to do nothing. It just is like, and it's like a word, that a name that should not be said. You know, it's like Voldemort. It's just, you know, you don't say you're gonna do nothing. So I say I'm gonna do nothing, and then during that whole day, I like don't look at the time the entire time, and I go off specifically how I feel, and you know, I change through a lot of different things. And the reason that this happens, and the way that I stay like you know, invigorated with the things that I do, not looking at the time helps me so much, because I forget how much I rely on a set schedule by the time. Like, I can look at the time, and if you're like if you have any feelings like I do, I look at the time and I know exactly what I should be doing at this time. And it's sickening, actually, because I've taken my time, and I see that I can do so much, and that's where I fail, is because I put an unrealistic expectation out of all the things that I could accomplish in the day. And that's really my demon. That's like a demon for me, that I have to fight off every day, is that I see all the possibilities that I can possibly do in the day. And and not achieving them is just how I live. You know, I wish that I could do something. I think that I should do this, this, and this. And then even if I set up a schedule, if I don't do something out of that schedule, I like am a failure or something like that. This perfectionistic attitude that has been like
Perfectionist.
eaten into me.
What? I don't. What?
What is that?
That's not my whole life.
What's up? Hey, perfectionists
Cries
out
in
there.
failure.
Yes, literally, yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm literally reading.
You were just when you were talking about like not looking at the time, I felt my anxiety just like, what? Like, how do I track my progress for the day? Like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh
Exactly.
my god. I can't.
Exactly.
Whenever I take a day off stream to relax, the amount of actual relaxing that happens is like minimal, because the rest of it
minimal,
is me feeling bad about not streaming or not doing something productive.
So what I do is I order my favorite food, which is Indian for me. I order my favorite food, whether that's for lunch or for dinner or both, it doesn't matter. I give myself the opportunity to eat exactly what I want. And for me being this boy that's just run by emotions in his stomach, that just is it's what helps me. And then
I want that on my tombstone. Run by emotions and her stomach. Like, I feel like that's just me in a nutshell. Like, you get like my emotions control everything, but my desire for food. It's like when I lay in bed and I'm so tired, I'm like in the morning and I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like, when will my desire to eat food or pee surpass my need to be lazy and not move? Like those, like it's like otherwise I'm not gonna move until I absolutely have to.
Yeah, I totally get it. I relate. I totally relate. And that's why I allow myself to do those two things, because the rest of the day is up to me and my emotions. Because, well, one, it's harder whenever you don't have a living situation that you like, which a lot of people do have that. I had that before, but you know, even then, that's what I had to do. And I would flip-flop from different things. I would like start an episode of anime and then pause it 7 minutes in to then go play some Overwatch and play a game, and then get out of the game halfway through to then go into my bed to watch TV or like watch a Twitch stream of something and then play on my phone. But then I'd get up and then I'd go into the kitchen for a dessert or something like that, or then I'd clean. And eventually, like, you realize that, like, I mean, you can, which happens to me all the time, Aya. You do all of these different things and you're just like, well, I can't even do this. I can't even relax. I can't even do nothing. Or I can't even do anything that I want. That's what really messes you up, is that I can't do literally what I want to do. And then I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to do? And then I'm like, okay, I can stream. And then it's like, okay, but I told myself I won't. And then eventually it's just me talking to myself and hours have passed and then I'm disappointed in myself, right? That happens a lot.
Relatable. Highly relatable.
Yes, that happens a lot. Right. But, the next day after that, like, when I feel like that, when that is all that I feel, and then the next day's bad, and the next day's bad, or the next day's bad, or whatever the case may be, right? That's when I know that I need to take a second to, like, and this is so weird, okay? You can't use my secret, but if you know, you have to, that's cool. But I, like, lay down on the ground and I stretch forever. Like, forever. Like, like an absurd amount of time, I just stretch and lay on the ground and like exhale as I just like look at, like, I'm just. And then eventually, I'm like, I get up and I'm like ready to do something. Because what is happening in those moments, at least to me, is I needed something to happen to make me stop thinking about everything at that moment. And the only thing that does that is being absolutely bored out of my mind. Because that calms me. After I've been, you know, you're doing all of these things and you're like bored or whatever, playing on your phone, or you're like, you know, watching something, or you're like playing a video game, or you're like starting a little stream, but then you end it too fast and you're disappointed, or you're like, go get some food, but it's not that great, you know, whatever. And you're just like, kind of like, ugh, the entire time. And you're feeling all of these little emotions, all of these things, they're stacking up on each other and shit. And then it's like you were able to catch your breath without knowing you were catching your breath. I have to trick myself into catching my breath. How messed up is that? That's it.
I gotta try stretching, or just laying on. Actually, I laid on the ground once. Well, a couple times I've laid on the ground in my closet because it's really comfortable, but I end up falling asleep.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh my god.
I'll just like lay down on the ground in the closet, and next thing I know, I'm waking up. Yeah. It's like really comfy.
Oh my god,
carpet.
that's so good. I'm so happy for you. I've always wanted carpet. I want carpet all the time because it's comfy and you can lay on it and sleep.
Good and
like
bad.
This.
It's good because it can be comfy. It's bad because my cat will throw up on it, and it's harder to clean if she throws up on the carpet.
Yes.
But otherwise, comfy.
Great.
So
comfy.
I can sleep in the closet near where she's got her little like area tucked away. I've got a like a dresser in the closet, and then the clothes that are on the hanger above it cover the top of the dresser. And I've got these little like organization cubes from like IKEA that you put in a drawer, but I've got them on top with like socks and stuff. Her favorite place to hide is to hop up on top of the drawers and sit, where she's hidden under the shirts and stuff. And it's so funny because she loves to hide there, but it's almost like she'll do that sometimes, right? And then she'll forget that she's there because I'll just hear her meowing, and I'm like, where is she? What's wrong? And I'll go and I'll find her in her spot, and she just like looks at me like, hi, like, what's up? What are you doing here? Like, you know, it's the cutest thing. Because she'll do it, I think, and then genuinely be confused as to where she is for a minute because it's so dark. Like, I know cats can see well in the dark, but there's so many shirts that, like, would block her vision. And I'll just, like, pull up the shirts, and it's just, like, her face, and her eyes are really big, and she's just like, hey. Like, it's the funniest thing. She actually did that recently, apparently, though. Because I'm gone right now, and so Dom is there cat sitting and watching the apartment, and she gets really anxious. I think she has separation anxiety, but she acts out when I'm gone. She's mad. She's like, how dare you leave me, kind of thing. And she pooped on the bed and then went and hid in her little cubby because she knew she wasn't supposed to do that. So she was like, I'm gonna poop here, but then I'm gonna go hide, so you can't be mad at me because you don't know it was me for a fact. Like, even though obviously I don't think Dom would poop on the bed, I hope. Dom, did you just blame that whole situation on Maui?
Dom, I've done it too. Okay. If you want relatable content.
Apparently she's been hopping into her her carrier. And she doesn't do that when I'm there, but I think that what she does, she keeps hopping into her carrier like, she forgot me. I'm still here. Or is waiting for me to come back and get her. And I feel bad. I just want to snuggle her and
She's ready. She's ready.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
she's gonna be really angry with me at first.
yeah.
She does this thing. She's a total diva. I wanted to name her Diva when I got her. My mom said no. Name her something nice, so I named her Maui. But she's a total diva,
Aww.
right? When I get back, she
Yeah.
will do this thing where she'll scream at me for a bit and let me pet her, and then she won't let me be near her. She'll follow me around if I try to walk anywhere because like I can't get away. But she will not let me, she won't sit with me, she won't let me cuddle her for a bit as punishment because she's like, you were gone, now I'm withholding my love from you. And
How dare they?
yeah I'm
How
actually
dare.
I'm considering trying to get her a small friend, a little baby.
Oh my god.
It's what I've been looking
really?
into for a little bit. Yeah I keep going back and forth, but I really want to do it. I want to get her a little buddy.
Oh my god. Oh my
Like,
god.
really badly.
Like a parrot.
She would eat it or sit on it.
Yeah.
She'd absolutely probably sit on it.
Yeah.
Either on purpose
Maybe
or by mistake.
maybe like a Madagascan lemur.
A lemur? I would like
Yeah,
to
what
see
do
the
you think
lemur
about that?
ride her around like a horse.
Yes! Could you imagine? Oh my god.
That would kind of be
God.
amazing.
Oh my god. That's incredible. I've just I've lived with cats for a while now, but I just have been living with May's cats for like a week, I think, and it's just been incredible. They climb everywhere and are just the sweetest cats ever, and are so weird, so weird.
Oh my god, cats
my
are so
God.
weird, and I love it. Like I
I
feel like
think
if I were
incredible.
an animal, I'd be a cat, because they're
Yeah.
they can be very antisocial, but they can also be adorable and cuddly, but when they want to, on their own
Mm-hmm.
terms.
Hell yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like if they're not in the mood, they will let you know.
This is, oh my god, just the looks they give. It's just incredible.
Oh, their little
So-
faces.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is wonderful.
You're absolutely wonderful. I am so happy that I got to have you on because you're an absolute ray of light, sunshine boy.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
And I know we're coming up on about 3 hours talking, so if you have to go, that's absolutely okay as well. I don't want to keep you forever. I've enjoyed just getting to talk to you and hang out with you and get to know you a little bit better.
Me too.
And I can't
Me
wait
too.
for when we finally hang out and make a science project volcano.
Please.
Because I feel like that'll be
Please.
a good time.
Oh my God.
We could hang out, play Just Dance or something, and absolutely flail, but have a great time. So,
I would love that.
and I'll hit you up about doing some sort of like little acting thing, because I feel like that could be a fun project. Good way to do
Please.
stuff.
Yeah. I'm down. You just hit me up. I'm
yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for having me. I do have to disappear.
Yeah, no worries.
I've been sitting in the seat way too long.
God,
I'm gonna
no
go lay
worries.
down.
I was gonna say my
But,
parents just got home with dinner stuff, so I should probably go
Oh
help anyway.
yay! This like I would love anytime, anything, as long as you're included, let me know. This was so nice to like get to talk to you.
Yeah.
As close to face as we could.
Yeah.
and it just, I liked the questions. I thank you so much for being an outlet for that, and I will always be back if you need me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm sure I will very quickly run out of people who are interested, and even then I feel like there's so much more that I'd love to ask you and talk to you about. So I'm sure I will hit you up in the near future to be like, hey, so do you want to come back? And it'll be more professional. Yes. It'll be so much more professional, I promise.
Oh my god, you're fine. I literally have never done a podcast in a safari before, like in the wilderness in Hawaii. I've never been able to do that. Yeah, and you allowed me to do that today.
I allowed you to
live
your
how special
dream.
that is? Thank you. I did. And I leave today knowing that I've completed a dream of mine. Thank you so much.
No worries. Is there anything else, if you want to promote anything or you want to just say anything to chat before we head out, you have an opportunity to do so now.
Oh my God. Well, hey, chat. Thank you so much for taking the time to get to know me. My name is YoSkylerSeymour. I'm an actor and a streamer. I'm just glad that you all took the time to hang out with us. A big thank you to our host, Aya, for allowing me to have an outlet to speak and all the wonderful questions that she has asked me. Chat, you have been lovely. It is so nice to be here, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this emotional talk, this deep learning, getting close to one another talk. It was really, really awesome. And thank you so much, Aya, again, for having me in the wilderness with no sticks and no rocks to make a fire with, and absolutely no idea what to do. Just kidding. This has been such a wonderful experience. Seriously, Aya, thank you.
Thank you. All right,
Yes.
Everybody say goodbye to Skyler, and don't forget, please, please, please go give him your follows and your subs and all of your support and love. If anyone deserves it,
Thank you.
he absolutely does. Again, one of the kindest people. As you can see how he is here, he is super real, and I have so much respect for that, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've always appreciated him and enjoyed stopping by his streams, because he's such a genuine human, which, you know, you can't always find these days. So I just have so much love and appreciation for, you know, how you run your stream, how you create your community. So I can't hype you up enough. Again, please, please, please go show all of your love and support. And I'm sure you'll see him here soon again, because there's still so many questions that I have to ask.
Yeah. Ask them all. I'm here for
Oh
it.
yeah, we'll just do like Skyler part 2, part 3. You know, like it'll just be a series.
Awesome. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, no worries. All right, guys, I will be right back. I'm gonna go say goodbye.
Wait. Is this the part where we scream into the void?
Oh yeah, I can't scream super loud though.
Okay, I can't
I'll
either.
do a silent scream.
So,
Just
okay.
ah. Oh my god, I love it.
Okay.
The void.
Void.
All right.
Yelling into the void.
Yelling
void.
into
Okay.
the void. I ripped my ears. Yeah, that was super loud screaming. Sorry about it.
Yeah. My bad. I'm a
All
loud
right.
person.
I'm going to say goodbye to our guest, and I will be right back. But in the meantime, look at a picture that has our guest's beautiful face on it. And I will see you in a moment. Bye.